The River, Nobby Norton is alongside me. Nobby, good afternoon to you once again.
G'day Lockie, g'day everyone tuned in, g'day Rob back in the studio. Hey, both sides on the ground. The Rovers first out, and Barmera Monash second out. The Roos, or can I call them the Pelicans, Lockie?
I think we can roll with a bit of retro round early today, why not?
Look, this is a grand final replay, and I think a grand final preview. How about that for round two?
Well, he's calling it early, but Nobby, they are the bold predictions that we applaud from you, and that's what we pay you to do, you know. No fence sitting here. It's all about bold predictions.
And the other thing, Lockie, is we're looking at the three top-seeded footballers in the Riverland today on the one ground. That being number 1 seed Steve Burton, number 2 Jono Beach, and the number 3 seed Nick Gillard, all here together so we can have a look at them.
It's great to see. Look, conditions, we'll just quickly chat on those. Oval looking in pretty good condition after what's been a pretty dry summer. A couple of dry air patches around the place, but if anything, I think it's going to make this deck a bit quicker.
I think what they've done, Lockie, is actually cut it short in places to get rid of some of the roughage that's normally where they train in the wet weather where it gets chopped up. But of course, no wet weather this year so far, or even since last year. So nothing chopped up at all.
Very true. A little bit of breeze around the place, if anything favouring, from what I can make out, maybe the town end.
Yeah, very much so, Lockie. It's a bit fluky. I've been here, I watched the under-18s and the seconds, not all the under-18s, which are a couple of good games of footy. Barmera Monash, very impressive in the under-18s. And the seconds was a great game of footy. Barmera got away from them, but the end you're predicting is the scoring end. Not too many goals kicked at the hospital end, but the ball's still travelling a fair way while they're going that way. But you see the flag straight across from us, mate. All of a sudden it's stretched out towards that end, towards the football club room's end. For
any aviators listening, that is a windsock at nearly horizontal to the ground.
Yeah, most we've seen. Often here at this ground, the breeze is going away from us, straight across the ground, and all the play is over on the scoreboard side. But today I think we'll see quite a bit of it. I did see, going to this end, which I'll call the scoring end, I did see a lot of goals kicked from this side of the ground.
So the club room pocket here at Renmark, if you are wondering. This is 5-room football for McDonald's at Renmark, and Berry Better, of course, Berry Better on board with our goal of the day as well. Couple of goal sneaks that we love in both of these sides. Unfortunately, one of our favourites, Nathan Zunich's not lining up today for the Rovers. He is here doing the team thing, but he's been a goal of the day winner, I'm going to say probably the most times.
I reckon I saw him kitted up amongst the seconds, but he didn't take the field there either.
No, I think he's just doing the club thing, which is good to see. A couple of other players, Jared Rowe's not lining up for the Rovers either. So from that premiership winning team, a couple of players missing. Tim Blight, the other one, not lining up for the Rovers today, but they're all still here. And you think about the off-season to now, team personnel lineup changes. Renmark would have to be the most settled side, I'm going to say, in RFL history.
Yeah, pretty much.
They welcomed one player back in, that was Lockie Lellman, who was from the Rovers originally anyway.
Yeah, and all the Wolford boys lining up again, Matthew, Timothy and Dan, so the trifecta of Wolfords there. Probably only player missing for me, Lockie, that you've named a couple already, but one I'm really happy to see back in the lineup, or remaining in the lineup, is, of course, veteran Trevor Thorpe, who's a previous winner of the 5RM Sports Saturday award. And, I'm thinking he could be the first two-time winner of that award.
Well, it could be. He keeps playing at the highest level, and that is one of the requirements of the 5RM Sports Saturday medal. It is also AFL Umpires Appreciation Round, and the Riverland has not missed out on that. Both teams shaking hands with all of the umpires, field, goal and boundary prior to the game. So a good little thank you early in the season.
I'm glad you cleared that up for me, because that's the sort of thing you normally see at the end of the game. And I thought, what's going on here? It's a good gesture, and not a bad thing to do. I think maybe do it every week.
Well, it is a national initiative, and great to see the Riverland Football League getting on board with that. A couple of minutes away from this round 2 fixture, 5RM Riverland Football for McDonald's Renmark. A couple of other games this afternoon, just quickly. We'll get some updates of those throughout the afternoon. Waikerie take on Loxton North, and Loxton host Berry. Loxton Berry, firstly, Nobby. That's a game that both those sides will be fancying their chances.
Yeah, a lot of ins in the Berry lineup this week. They're gradually pulling a side together, a senior team together, and I think they will build every week. And But I still fancy Loxton at home today, Lockie.
Yeah, always a tough team to beat. Speaking of losses at home, I went through the stats.
Yep.
Since, we'll get to the Loxton North, Waikerie Loxton North game in a minute. Since the COVID interruption that we had here in the Riverland Football League, Renmark have lost just 6 games on this oval.
In what, 6 years almost?
2021 to now.
5 years.
So, yeah, phenomenal effort. Barmera Monash did manage to get one of those last year, however, and Loxton have got a couple.
I reckon Loxton have knocked them off here a couple of
times. Yeah. But what I'm getting at, though, Renmark don't lose too many games at home.
No, I'm thinking you're right. And that other game we were going to talk about, Loxton North venturing to Waikerie today.
Yep.
Who do you think's going to win that one?
Look, Loxton North will be keen to bounce back. They had a very good first half of the first quarter last week, I'm told, and actually had a 3-goal head start on Renmark until Renmark woke up and put them to the sword pretty easily. Look, I don't know. Loxton North would be a bit taller than that Waikerie side we saw last week.
I reckon they would be, and in good conditions like we have today and in the Riverland, across the Riverland, you'd be fancying them to really take it up to the Waikerie team down at Waikerie. And look, I'm tipping them to upset the Magpies.
It could be one. We'll follow that this afternoon. As always, a great day for Riverland football, and it's great to be a part of it here at 5RM as always.
Who are you going for here, Lockie? Now, you've indicated that Renmark rarely lose here. Who are you tipping?
I'm going to go for the Rovers.
I'm going to go for Barmera Monash, but I've got Lockie Dan next to me from the Murray Pioneer. He says the Rovers, but I suppose that's because he works up here and is based here and has got to work here all week. But so it's 2-on-1. I'm the only one going for Barmera Monash in this outfit. But look, it'll depend on how much they can get the ball out of the middle. They've got a good on-ball brigade, headed by Steve Burton back into the Barmera Monash side after several years away from the club.
Yeah, former Willis medalist as well. And just a quick one too, one late change for the Barmera Monash Roos. Jed Millington coming in, William Cowling, the player, going out. Renmark as named. We are about to get underway. Riverland footy on 5RM, round 2. It's going to be a ripping afternoon of football. Why would you be anywhere else, Nobby Norton?
0-0 on the Berry Better scoreboard at the moment, Lockie. No one yet to trouble a scoreboard because they haven't started. Here we go.
Ball up, umpire signals to get the siren underway. Up in the middle it goes. Gartrey, no, they both missed it. Now Vader, the Renmark coach, gets the first inside 50 by foot. Still a hot footy. The Rovers turn through Gillard. They slotted it.
What a kick,
that's
what a goal.
Minor score.
I was going to say, Lockie, that would have been podium, top of the podium, because it would have been the first goal for the Berry Better goal of the day. But gee whiz, that looked dangerous. See how far the ball travelled? That was outside the 50.
That was a 55-metre kick with ease.
And went through three-quarter post height.
So Barmera Monash with the kick out. That's Justin Bonney. Takes it wide to the eastern wing. Doesn't quite... Oh, no, there is a mark paid.
Taken by Joe Ricketts there, Lockie, with the sporting the 70s hairdo.
Just getting told to hurry it up a little bit. Small chip over the top. And finds... that is Whitbourne.
Jamison Whitbourne, yes.
Drives it inboard, looks for a target. Now it's been a contest. The Rovers managed to get a couple of hands in there, and now they go on the rebound. Oh, no, they don't. Wrapped up, will get a ball up.
That was big man Jack Austin hitting that pack. And the 3 Austin boys all lining up for Barmera Monash. Dane, Thomas and Jack, and you got the 3 Wolfords for Renmark, Lockie.
It's a... symphony of brothers here at the Renmark Oval this afternoon. That's a wayward kick out of that contest. It's gone out of bounds over the scoreboard side, and it was wobbly enough. The umpire says ball it in.
Must have been touched off boot, I think. It's a boundary throw in.
It was a rough-looking kick. Yeah. This is 5RM football for McDonald's Renmark. Just under 2 minutes gone. Ball in. Both teams hungry for it, but it's the Rovers that clear it out, and aren't they good at this? Inside 50 through Gartrey. Hits the deck. Can the Rovers run onto it? Declan Johnson tries to get it. Gillard wants a bit of it as well. Sock it out from Barmera Monash, but intercepted from the Rovers. They're still hungry, still in their attacking 50. Just spills out. Barmera Monash look a little bit flustered, but they managed to drive it out just.
Steve Burton kicks the ball forward. Goes straight to a teammate, that being Lucas Warnett, who moves the ball forward to the goal square, but punched over the boundary line by the Renmark defender, and that'll be a boundary throw in the left forward pocket as we look at it in the hospital end of the ground.
Just gone 2.5 minutes of game time. First quarter Riverland footy on 5RM. Ball in. Barmera Monash.
Barmera defence were under pressure there, Lockie, in that quarter. In the ball comes in the middle. Hit out by Barmera, but can't come clear of the pack. Bit of a rugby there. Renmark clear the ball, but not out of their defence yet, and that's another ball up at half back for Renmark.
Dan Wolford there, the player wrapped up with the ball, but a ball up, as you said. What are we talking, 60 from the Roos goal?
Yeah, Austin up, but Gartery getting the hit out. Can't come to a teammate.
Fraser Sampson there, I reckon, the player that's with the ball in the ground.
Driven into the ground a bit, but the umpire thought it was just part of the tackle. Over he comes to ball it up on centre wing, grandstand side. Gartery first hands to the ball again, but Sampson clears it out of the pack towards Watke. Can't get his hands on it. Thorpe knocks it clear to Vader. Vader, the Renmark coach, takes a bounce, going through the middle, lifts his eyes, looks up on his left, looking for Gillard. Can't find him. He's on a long lead. And out of bounds it goes in the forward pocket near the town end.
Yeah, that's Millington that's got the job with Gillard, it would appear there, into the side today. Gillard's going to get a free kick here. The Rovers have got a free.
Did that go off perhaps Millington's boot?
I don't know if it was Millington. It might have been the player adjacent, but there we go. So the Rovers here with another shot. 4 minutes gone, first quarter.
This would be the hardest place to kick a goal from on the Renmark Oval today. Let's see how good my number 3 seeded Nick Gillard is.
Gives it a good leg. Kicks. It's on target. The Rovers, Brody Rover there in there trying to have a crack at it, but it's the Roos that somehow clear this one out. It looks dangerous. Oh, wrapped up. That's all play on, the umpire says. 15 out from the Rovers goal. Can they make something of this? Liam Jackson scouting the pack. Tries to turn back inboard, still with it. Drives it over the line, and umpire says, ball it in.
Gee, let that go on a bit, and I like that, Lockie.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than the 50-odd free kicks we saw last night on the AFL.
Well, Liam Jackson will ride that footy into the ground until the umpire takes it out of his hand. Ball in. Just 15 around from the Rovers goal.
Lovely work there by Brody Rover. Gets the ball back out in the middle. Chain of handballs. Back to Liam Jackson, and I reckon...
minor score.
Minor score only, and that takes Renmark to 2 points, leading Barmera Monash yet to score on the better scoreboard.
It's a big afternoon of Riverland football, that is for sure. We do it thanks to McDonald's Renmark. Barmera Monash with the kick in, and that is Butterworth doing that job this afternoon. Doesn't manage to find a teammate. Still loose footy, push forward. Fraser Sampson tries to run away with it. Play an advantage the call after they almost stopped. Kicks up to the grandstand wing, looks for Bonnie, drops forward. Ricky Garrett manages to paddle that one out of bounds for the Rovers, and we'll get a ball in.
That was Millington taken to the ground without the ball down there at half back, and the umpire did the right thing, played advantage, and Fraser Sampson shot up to the wing, where we now have a boundary throw in. Ruckman here together it's Gartery and Jack Austin. Interesting combination, or is it?
Yeah, here's Jack Austin, tap forward. It's the Roos that managed to get a couple of possessions.
Well,
free kick.
Paid the mark. Actually, it only went about 10 metres. Wouldn't have got paid in the AFL, but it is here today in the RFL. Ball gone forward to Barmera. Thorpe from Renmark gets it on his boot, scrambles it out of defence for Renmark towards the wing. Hitting it hard was Lelman. Keeps the ball rolling along the ground. He socketed it towards his own advantage. Gathers it up. Handballs. Clear to Vader. Vader a handball to another player. Back to Lelman, who looks up, chips it across the middle and finds Harrison Brown, who brings it forward. Looking again for Rover on a long lead. That's Brody Rover. Got a couple inches on his Barmera defender, but mopped up there by the Barmera defender. Taken out of bounds. That will be a boundary throw in the club room forward pocket. That was Joe Ricketts on Brody Rover there.
It's his 5-room football for McDonald's Renmark. Just gone 7 minutes. Ball gets thrown in. That's a lovely throw in with that Breeze assist. Good tap forward from Gartree. The Rovers hungry forward, but it's Butterworth for the Roos that manages to drive that one out of bounds.
Some of the contest work around the stoppages is quite good to watch, Lockie. Some good clean ball handling, but good tackling as well. Ball coming in from the boundary throw-in towards the ruckman. This time, Gartery again with the ball. Butterworth taken high. He will get the free kick here. Taken high by the big ruckman, Gartery. At half-back, Sam Butterworth looks up. Oh, a mongrel punt into the middle. But Burton grabs hold of it first. He was taken high as well and will now get the free kick. Sorry, it wasn't Burton. It was Rory Moore. Now has the kick in the absolute middle of the ground. Drives Barmera forward.
Yep, up to the left forward flank. Tap forward. Now it's Chris Bonney that gets a hand on it, but it was intercepted by Garrett, who has a second bite at it. Taken to the ground. Ball spills out. Good pick up from Dan Wolford, but manages to kick it along the ground to Sampson. Inboard to Watke. He's got a couple of metres. Drives it to the inside 50 region. No one able to mark it. The Roos, that's a wild old kick to the pocket, but they have another bite at it. A shot from
John O'Beach.
O'Beach. There's a goal, and that's the first goal of the day.
Look, an absolute comedy of errors there by the Renmark defenders. The three of them went to contest the single ball, spoiled each other. The ball rolled out the back to the Barmera Monash Roos. Handball to Beach. Beach on his left foot kicks the first goal of the game to take Barmera to 1 goal, 6 points, leading Renmark 2 points on the very better scoreboard.
There we have it. After Renmark really dominating that footy in the first section of this quarter, Barmera Monash take first blood on the scoreboard. They lead by 4.
Important goal to that hospital end too, Lockie. Not going to be too many kick that end, I don't think. I think the majority of the scoring will be done at this other end, but that's a very important goal to Barmera.
Certainly is. Well, if you can get one against the grain,
yep.
When you're going with the flow, it's going to be a bit easier. Ball back in the centre. We are back underway. 9 minutes played. Barmera Monash get the clearance and a good mark.
That was Rory Moore out of the middle again. That's a couple of telling possessions from him. Mark's been taken by Burton. Turns around, looks up, goes for Beach, but couldn't get it to him.
Beach had the footy, but hands weren't on it. It was held to him. Umpire says, I'm going to ball that one up.
Gee, a high-quality game, Lockie, we're here seeing today.
This is the pinnacle of Riverland football, and it's no secret why these two teams have been in the last 2 grand finals. A ball up in the right forward pocket for the Roos, doesn't go too far, and will go again.
Yep, great conditions, great football. Up it goes. Out of the pack comes Barmera Monash with the ball.
That's a minus score.
That's a behind. Takes the score to 1 goal, 1, 7 points. Barmera Monash leading Renmark 2 points only on the very better scoreboard.
See, it is Alex Haynes that's got the job on Beach this afternoon. That's a tall order. I reckon he might be up for the job.
Yep. Well spotted, mate.
So 1-1-7, Barmera Monash leads the Renmark Rovers, just the 2 behinds. The Rovers drive it long and wide, and a great mark from Dan Wolford at the back flank region.
Yeah, looking faded, moving around in the middle.
Drives it to the scoreboard wing. Looks for Gartree, didn't mark it. The Roos intercept, they hold it in and will get a ball up.
Lockie trying to get a bit of an idea on who's manning up, who in the middle, and all the centre line players for both sides are playing well wide of each other, so there's no real tags or anything on anyone at the moment.
Gartree there in the ruck, unable to get a hand on that. Will go another ball up. Umpire Tony Florence, he's had a fair bit of it today already.
Yeah.
Tap towards the Rovers' advantage, albeit 1.5 metres. That's a 9-iron kick in the air from someone. Couldn't
Matthew
quite
Wilden,
see it.
that was, yeah. Had his 9-iron on.
It's a wild Anspach drives it, holding the ball.
Maybe 60 degrees pitching wedge, Lockie, about that high.
Could have been. So, got a free kick for the Roos now.
That's Wilden over that side at the scoreboard. Drives it forward up the wing, looking for a play, but through comes Gartery. The ruckman in the back play takes a solid mark at half-back for Renmark. Looks up, holding onto the footy, not moving it quickly. With the breeze, he probably should be moving this ball on. Goes to cross it, but has an airy, to use another golf term.
Oh, Harrison Brown drops it, but he manages to regather it. Now Anspach through the middle.
Lovely
kick.
It's
a wayward old kick, but it doesn't seem to matter. Manages to find Harry Beavis, who's got a bit of time, does a figure of 8, then kicks it anyway. Finds a teammate in the pocket. That was Rhett Perry, dropped short. Now it's the Roos that get a couple of hands on it. Oh, well done from Perry there. Yeah. Held it in for the Rovers inside their attacking 50.
Yeah, great forward pressure by the Rover forward. Big fella looks like he looks pretty fit, Lockie. He looks like he might have dropped a couple of kgs over the summer. He's up and raring to go.
Yeah, he's the one lining up on Millington there for the Roos. So tap from Bonnie in the ruck there, unopposed, but it's Liam Jackson from the Rovers that gets his hands on it. He's going to have a second bite at it. He handballs then out of bounds, looking for Lellman, and
Yeah.
Umpire says that is a kick.
That was a look-away handball from Jackson to Lelman, who was looking away, so he didn't get it. Both of them looking away.
So that's Wilden in the left-back pocket for the Roos. Just pops it up to a contest. It's going to be a fair old contest. And it's Butterworth that ends up with it, but runs it over the line. We'll go again.
The Rovers won't be unhappy with the ball over this side, because I think this is the scoring pocket on the whole ground.
1-1-7 plays two behinds. The visiting Barmera Monash Roos with the advantage. Good contest in the ruck, but it's Watke that finds a bit of space, turns back inboard, kicks it around the corner.
Oh, lovely one-handed mark there, taken by Tim Wolford.
Tim Wolford.
Yep. He looks up. He'll drive this long into the forward lines for Renmark. Looking for Gillard on the lead, but chipping in and taking an uncontested mark for the Renmark Rovers. I reckon that might be Declan Johnson, is it?
No, that is Lockie Lelman.
Lockie Lelman, yep. Of course it is.
Back into the side this year.
Well, he's a left footer, and he's in the right pocket for a left footer, if you know what I mean, Lockie. He will have to start this, as we're looking at it, at the left-hand goalpost, because the breeze will bring it back, because the breeze is pretty much heading straight down the ground.
They trail by 5. What can happen with this?
Right foot, misses to the right.
Yeah, sends it on its way, but it's gone for a minus score. Takes the Rovers to 3 behinds.
I must have been looking in the mirror to think he was a left footer. He's a right footer.
Maybe you thought he'd mix it up.
But you can see how that ball drifted off the middle to the right. Barmera bring it back in. Comes to Jamison Whitbourne from the kick in. He's at half back. Looking up, not many options. Drives it wide and finds Fraser Sampson, who was put off the ball a little bit by Jack Austin coming through.
I reckon that might be Saxton Mitchell.
Saxton Mitchell, was it? Yeah, he took his eye off the footy thinking that Jack Austin was coming at him, his own teammate. And unfortunately, that meant he had to cough it up. He's run back. Yes, he is. Saxton Mitchell has the job on Gillard, as you said.
So Tim Wolford tries to manhandle that one out of the contest, but umpire says you didn't go too far. I'll throw it up again.
Chicken wing tackled by Jamison Whitbourne, couldn't get it out. Up it goes again.
Yep, good bit of play there from Whitbourne. Good kick inboard. Umpire says play on. It was a fair contest. Now Dane Austin holding the ball.
Play to advantage. Renmark shoot the ball across the ground. Looking for Tim Wolford, but he couldn't keep his feet. And Barmera on the loose ball, but he's good enough to get it back to Harry Beavis. Handballs forward to Coach Vader, who is wrapped up and coughs the ball up incorrectly. Incorrect disposal. Barmera Monash free kick. This time again by Jamison Whitbourne. He's having a pretty good quarter.
On half back, looking for a teammate. 15 and a half minutes played. Just a small kick to the right. Finds Justin Bonney, who kicks back inboard to a contest. It was punched forward, but umpire says that's a mark.
Fraser Douglas arms were taken in the marking contest. He gets up, handballs out to Wilden, who drives Barmera Monash forward to half forward. Players up, packs up, but Renmark come out with the football. That's Gartery.
And now a couple of link-up handballs. Here's Vader again. Kicks on his non-preferred, but finds Matt Wolford. The Loxton North and Renmark Rovers premiership player finds a teammate in the far wing and kicks up to Gillard. Good bit of play.
Yeah, that ball.
Ben Kelly was the player who I couldn't pick up just before. Lovely bit of play for Ben Kelly.
This is a perfect spot for Gillard. Runs around off the mark. Kicks it in the middle and shoots it straight across goal.
Looking for Brodie Rover there, but it dropped forward. Get under that. Good luck. Driving out of bounds through Perry, and that's a ball in the opposite pocket.
Joe Ricketts for Barmera Monash looks a likely type. Lockie with the hair flowing everywhere, and he's pretty hard at it. Can see why he's got the gig on Brodie Rover. Even though he's given him inches, he's not giving him anything in the contest.
So a ball in, 10 around from the Rovers goal. Can they make something late in this game? Driving to the centre, umpire's seen something, and they're going to get a free kick here. Is that going their way?
It's a high tackle to Liam Jackson, I reckon.
Just seeing which way's the umpire's. Oh no, it is Renmark with the free. Okay. So they're going to be having a shot on goal here.
Lelman again, is it?
I reckon that is Dan Wolford.
Dan Wolford.
The 21. So he's going to go back for a shot on goal pretty much directly in front, kicking from, let's say, 35 out.
Important kick for goal for Renmark here to get there first for the game.
Ball's on the way.
Makes no mistake. Umpire sways back straight over his head. That ball went. First goal for Renmark from Dan Wolford takes them to 1-3-9, leading Barmera Monash 1-1-7 by 2 points on the very better scoreboard.
It's funny, coach for the Renmark Rovers, Josh Vader, was coming off for a quick change when that kick was on its way, and when it went through, I saw a little fist pump there from Josh, so he was pretty pumped that one went through.
I'm thinking, I'm watching a couple of the previous games, Lockie. I was going to say there's about a 3 to 4 goal breeze favouring that end, but you know, A-grade footy, highly skilled players, maybe it's not such a big thing to overcome.
So after trailing for most of the quarter, it's now the Rovers who lead by 2. To my calculations.
Yep, no quarter asked, no quarter given here at the moment. The ball goes up in the middle. Both ruckmen up. Gartery with his hands on it first again, but couldn't get it to anyone to get it out of the middle. Barmera in hard over the football. Wolford, Tim gets the handball out. Back it comes to his brother Dan, who kicked the first goal and the last goal for the game. Looks up, shoots it across ground, finds Wolford again. Shoots the ball forward, down half forward, in front of Matt Wolford. So almost the trifecta there.
Matt Wolford doesn't look good there. It's like he's holding his thumb or his finger. He's tough.
Not looking to come off though.
No. He's going to stick it out. So a ball in on the far wing. Closer to the Rovers' end, albeit just. Now it is a kick into their 50. It's gone to space. Chaos ball. Tapped over the top. No one really quite got a clean possession. The Roos trying to clear this one out. They're struggling. Now they just pack it in.
Yeah, Coach Fraser Sampson and Chris Bonney waiting to get back on the interchange, as is Jake Anspatch for Renmark, but the ball was right across the other side and all the players are across there as well.
Oh, thumping tap from Gartree, but it's gone out of bounds. Oh, a tackle on the line there. Now, what's the umpire going to say here?
He said ball in, but I would have thought that wasn't far from running your face along the cycling track there.
I reckon that was Morgan Edwards with that tackle.
Might have been 3 games if you're in a North Melbourne Guernsey, and Renmark are in North Melbourne like Guernsey, so who knows what will happen on the MRP.
Right. Well, fortunately, we don't have that here. Well done, Ricky. Garrett rove the pack, but he was tackled when he tried to get a handball away. Back in board it is to Whitbourne, who's having an absolute ripping game in the action again.
I think Barmera would be quite happy with the way they started here without letting Renmark get away from them.
Ball up, still in the Rovers attacking 50. It's not moving too far. The handball out the back.
Wilden getting some important possessions in and under there. Ball comes out to Whitbourne again. Takes the ball out of half-back, but only as far as a Renmark player who takes the mark at the front of the square, wheels into the middle and bombs it long to the goal square.
And Mitch Jenke, great mark inside 50 from Gillard. That's the mark of the day so far.
It certainly is, Lockie, and there's the dangerous player, the number 3 seeded RFL player in Nick Gillard.
He kicked 7 goals last week. So far today, it's just one behind.
He had an absolute mare the first time he had a shot at goal from the forward pocket. This time he's directly in front.
30 out. Ball's on the way.
Misses again.
Oh, that's another behind to the Rovers.
Well, would you say that was a goal you wouldn't expect him to miss, Lockie?
No, you'd almost put that in the book before he kicked it. That's 1-4-10. The Rovers, they lead by 3. Barmera Monash just 1-1-7.
I actually had it in my book. I'll have to cross it out.
We'll wait for him to get another one. Are you that confident?
It doesn't quite fit with my system.
We are in our overtime now, 21 and a half minutes gone. The Roos with the kick out, but unable to hit a target. Declan Johnson, good read from the Rovers.
Yeah, nice setup.
Now Tim Wolford drives inside 50, not wasting any time. Can they get a mark on this? Tapped. It's still in board. That's Rhett Perry.
Gillard tries to bring it back into play on his right foot.
That's a wild old kick in the air.
Don't tell me.
Through. Oh, that's a minor score.
Holy dolly. I think he's putting a package together of points at the moment, Lockie. And he is obviously striving for the very better goal of the day, the sort of pings he's having. And he wasn't far off either time. Barmera bring the ball back into play from fullback, this time to Chris Bonney, who takes the mark just before his arms are chopped.
Teasing us a bit, isn't he?
Yep.
Gillard this afternoon. Anyway.
Looks up, finds Rory Moore. He's had a pretty good opening quarter as well, along with Jamison Whitbourne. Both playing in the middle. He looks up, shoots the ball short.
tapped in board. That was Herodor. I always say that name wrong. Aiden Herodor.
Free kick to Whitbourne again. He got one high there. I'd say he's probably got the most ticks next to him on my book at the moment, Lockie.
Yeah, he's certainly up there for me.
Started off very well in the middle. Not sure whose opponent is, though. Looks up, short kick, finds Butterworth coming off half-back. Or is it Burton?
I'll double check. It's the biggest oval in the Riverland Football League.
Burton it is at half-back. No, it's not.
Rory Moore.
Rory Moore again. He's getting lots of possessions.
See how the Rovers now on half-back. Can they work this one out? They can. They drive it wide to space. Declan Johnson reads it well on the bounce. Handball's back in board. Good kick inside 50 from Dan Perry, I reckon that was.
That was for another behind. Renmark go to 1-6-12, leading Barmera Monash 1-1-7 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Look, you can say it's inaccurate kicking, but they've been under pressure. So not necessarily missing any set shots. They're all in-play shots, except for the one that Gillard missed.
So a kick in from the Roos. It's Whitbourne that's been trusted to do it again. Takes it to the eastern flank and intercept mark. That's Mitch Jenke with the footy. Is he going to back himself for a shot? He's pretty much on the painted 50.
And he's got the breeze right at his back. If he had the spinnaker up here, Lockie, if he puts it up, distance won't be a problem for him.
He's lining it up with the umpire, doing the full AFL thing to make sure he's on the correct
He's
path.
gone for the top. He's pulled out the Malcolm Blight, and it's gone literally 20 metres.
Yeah, it was worth it for the effort. This is 5RM Riverland football. First quarter done here at Renmark. It's the Renmark Rovers at 1-6-12, leading the Barmera Monash Roos at 1-1-7. We'll go back to the Sideline View studio with Rob Laurie and get the latest on what's going on around the Riverland. Rob, back to you.
That it certainly is, Robert. It is a great afternoon of Riverland football, the showcase. A top two clash, a grand final replay from the last 2 years. You can sell it however you want, but it is just a great day to be alive and a great day to be in Renmark, isn't it, Nobby Norton?
It certainly is, Lockie. And the scoreboards, you know, if you weren't here watching or listening to us, you'd be thinking this is typical Barmera Monash where they lock it down and no one scores. But it's not. It's just the contest. You know, it's been so keen for the footy. Barmera are moving the ball forward as well as Renmark. Back in the day, Barmera would have been looking to shoot this ball across and hold it up, but they're not doing any of that. Their game plan is attack. Be interesting to see how they going with the breeze this quarter and how Renmark plays into it. Sometimes when you play into it, you work harder and end up scoring more, if that sounds a little bit silly, Lockie, but sometimes that works for you because your players have to come up to high half forward and actually work instead of sitting deep, hoping that the long kicks with the breeze will take it to you.
No, it is. I completely get you. It's the full reverse psychology approach, really. You know, you think you're going to get an advantage, but if you don't use it and do the right things, well, you don't get the advantage anyway. So, yeah, interesting to see what they do here. Just looking to see if there's been any changes around the place, and it's sort of the status quo. The middle for Renmark, you got Vader in there, Harrison Brown,
Timmy Wolford,
Gartrey, and Tim Wolford. Dan Wolford on the wing. No, not much has changed, I don't think.
No, look, goal kickers only one for each side. Jonathan Beach for Barmera Monash and Dan Wolford for Renmark. And better players for both sides, going through them in no particular order. Jamison Whitbourne, Wilden, Rory Moore and Joe Ricketts for Barmera Monash. For Renmark, the coach Josh Vader, Nick Gillard, Lachlan Lehman's had a bit of it, Harrison Brown, Timothy Wolford, Dan Wolford and the ruckman Zach Gartery, who's back in the middle waiting for this ball up.
Great to see. This is 5-0 Riverland football for McDonald's Renmark. Enjoy the quality McCafe blend. It's crafted by expert baristas just the way you like it. Ball up on a great tap to nowhere. But it's the Barmera Monash Roos that managed to pick it up and they kick it forward. Punched forward though. Lockie Lelman gets a boot on it for the Rovers, who's now on half back. Fraser Sampson goes to pick it up. The Barmera Monash coach, he got a handball away. Kicks to space, going to be intercepted. There's Lelman again. Looks for Thorpe. Thorpe does the team thing with the Shepherd. Back in board. Not marked by Dane Austin for the Roos. Taking the ground and we'll get a ball up.
Look, none of the kicking there very good, but the pressure on. Umpire Florence comes in, tosses the ball up. Up goes Jack Austin and Gartery. Gartery gets his hand on it, but Barmera bring it out of the pack with a kick forward. Whoa, almost the mark of the day taken by Lelman. Looks up at the umpire, didn't get it paid, and it's play on. Gartery farms the ball out to Tim Wolford. Shoots it out wide to Matt Wolford. Knocks it on to Gartery. To Barrett. Garrett back to Wolford. Wolford out of bounds on the full. That's Matt Wolford. Bit of pressure on there from Barmera. The free kick will be taken by Jack Albrick at centre wing for Barmera. Looks up, looks short. Finds Burton. Gee whiz, that barely went 10 metres. Is it 15 metres it's supposed to be?
Oh, it might look smaller because it's a big oval, but yes, it was a very, very short.
I reckon he's standing exactly where Jack was when he kicked it to him. Anyway, on the ball goes forward, long, straight towards Lucas Warnett for Barmera. Takes an uncontested mark, lifts his eyes, shoots the ball across to Chris Bonney, takes the mark at half forward, gets on with it, heading the ball forward, but no one been able to take it. Trevor Thorpe comes out, handballs to Tim Wolford. Shoots the ball out the wing to Harrison Brown.
Yeah, great bit of defensive work there from the Rover defender, Alex Haynes, who's standing Jono Beach, who was the target there. So Beach unable to get a clean mark there, and the Rovers, they go on the switch. Thorpe now at a true full-back for the Rovers.
I reckon Beach was looking flush into the sun there.
Oh, kicked up. It looked, there was a bit of time there, but it's Tim Wolford that managed to mark it. Now Thorpe working down the wing. Kick from Wolford, intercept. Butterworth, the Barmera Monash Roos, kicks over the top to Watke, and Watke's got it inside 50 in the scoring pocket.
I was looking for some of the matchups, Lockie, and I'm looking at Fraser Sampson. He looked like he was chasing Tim Wolford around and then come back out onto Dan Wolford, but I think he's maybe matched up on Dan Wolford by the look of it.
So Watke's going to back himself in here for a kick at goal.
Left-hand post he needs to be, and he is. Right. And that's a beautiful kick at goal.
Kicked it from pretty much bang on 50 and slots it, and the Barmera Monash Roos take the lead by 1 point.
And that also takes the lead in the very better goal of the day, Lockie. Even though it was a set shot, it was a perfectly aimed set shot just inside the left-hand goalpost as he looked at them. and it came back beautifully on the breeze. And that takes the score to Barmera, 2 goals, 1-13. They hit the lead by 1 point over Renmark, 1-6-12 on the Berry Better scoreboard.
Yeah, the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. 5am football for McDonald's Renmark. The quality McCafe blend, you can check it out. It is crafted by expert baristas just the way you like.
This is the scoring pocket, like I said before the game started, and that was perfectly used by Matthew Watke, that breeze.
Fortuitously in front of the club rooms.
Yep.
And the function marquee at the same time. So it might get a little bit rowdy this afternoon.
Austin onto the ball again in ruck and kicks it forward for Barmera Monash to Trevor Thorpe. Wrapped up. Ball comes out. Barmera chain of handballs. Back to Chris Bonney. Oh, a mongrel sort of a kick, but centred by Barmera towards Jamison Whitbourne. Couldn't get a handle on it. Vader comes up with it, but wrapped up quickly. It'll be a ball up just inside the 50 at Barmera Monash's forward line.
Yeah, Warnett there for Barmera Monash.
Going all right too, Warnett.
A wobbly old kick, but as you said, on the whole, doing pretty good. A good ball up, but it was the second one where the ruckman got the tap. Intercept again. No one really able to clear this one out. Rovers concede a bit of ground.
Oh.
Fraser Sampson plucked it out of the air, but was tackled straight away, and that's a ball up just inside the attacking 50 of the Renmark Rovers.
The Roos coach leading on the front there with some 1%ers.
Tap forward, a bit of a rugby scrum. Doesn't go too far. Great tackle from Whitbourne.
Yeah,
held that one in.
Having a great game, both sides of the ball. When he's got it, when he hasn't got it, he's playing well.
Is he best on ground so far?
He is. He's got the ticks next to him in my book, Lockie. Up it goes. Bonnie gets the hit out to Trevor Thorpe, takes the ball in, but wrapped up again. It'll be another ball up. 30 metres out from the Barmera Monash goals, going towards the clubroom end.
So a ball up. Both ruckmen just drive it forward. Try to read it, but they couldn't quite get there. Great tackle from Morgan Edwards from the Rovers, and we'll get another ball up.
Good umpiring there too, because Watke was carried forward in the tackle, but he carried the ball himself forward. Oh, nice big help in the ruck there for Garter. He gets helped by Bonnie under the ball. A little bit of advice to the umpire. He now hands out a 25-metre penalty to Garter. He brings him up to the back of the centre square in defence for Renmark. Looks up, goes short, finds Dan Wolford on the wing. Has Thorpe running past. He looks up again, goes short towards Tim Wolford, who can't bring it in, but regains possession. Shoots the ball across to Ricky Garrett, back into Trevor Thorpe. He followed up his play and has been caught for holding the ball by Jamison Whitbourne.
Tell you what, this is a big game from Jamison Whitbourne so far.
He's looking a bit like Jason Horne-Francis with his hairdo and everything, and playing like him as well. Ball cut off in the middle. Cut off in the middle by Liam Jackson. Intercept, shoots the handball out to Lockie Lellman. Ball on to Matt Wolford at half forward, lifts his eyes, goes to the lead of Gillard, who can't take the mark and is taken to ground by Joe Ricketts, and that'll be a ball up in the forward line, or a boundary throw in.
So a ball in, 40 around from the Renmark Rovers goal, now kicking to the northern end, hospital end, I think we dubbed it last year, the KM Tucker Show Hall end, where Nobby did his best work in 1986.
Judging the fruit and veg at the Renmark show.
Would have been a career highlight, no doubt.
I used to do them all. I was on the route. Ball coming out from Trent Ogle, this time on the far wing. Looks up, finds a teammate in Bonnie. He shoots the ball forward to Lucas Warner again, who's playing quite well for the Roos. Getting some important possessions across half forward. Lifts his eyes looking for Beach and finds John O'Beach about 40 metres out in the town pocket, going to the scoreboard, going to the clubroom end.
Yep, he's throws a blade of grass in the air. He's right in front of the windsock as well, John O'Beach.
Yeah, have a look up there. Don't do the Matt Lloyd. Look up at the windsock, Jono.
So he's kicking, as you said, to the town end. Barmera Monash. They lead by 1 point. Can they extend the lead?
Oh, lovely kick with the breeze.
Looks good off the boot.
But
there's a bit of a slow clap.
Yep.
That's a goal.
That's his second goal, and Barmera's third. They go to 3 goals, 1-19, leading Renmark 1-6-12 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Just goes to show, I thought this was a scoring end before the game, Lockie, after watching a fair bit of the seconds and some of the under-18s, and look, Barmera using the ball well from set shots, and Renmark might rue those couple of missed set shots that Gillard had in that first quarter.
Yeah, it was a good clearance from the Roos out of defence when we were talking about the KM Tucker short and as that was going on, it was a couple of quick link-up kicks and handballs, and they kind of got Renmark on the hop.
Yeah, lovely passage of play.
Back in the middle it is. Good tap from Bonnie, who was tackled again. Now it's the Rovers, though. They get a couple of quick hands. Dan Wolford over the top. Lellman just gets it on the boot as quick as he can. Inside 50. Intercept from the Barmera Monash Roos. It's a wobbly old kick. No, that is Dane Austin, I believe. Yeah, Spilios not in the side today.
No, of course not. I just reinserted him in the team.
Yep. Speaking of, no long sleeves out there today for either side. It's a bit disappointing.
It's not the weather for him either, Lockie.
No. But they're the players we like, the ones that wear it when it's not appropriate.
Yeah, we're missing them today, Jordan Freeman and Nathan Zunic. They're part of our long-sleeve team of the season last year.
Yep, nominations already open. Ball up, still inside attacking 50 for the Rovers.
Out
Watke read it well, but intercept from Ricky Garrett. Inboard to Dan Wolford. Dan Wolford, a lovely kick inside 50. Gillard the target.
Over the top comes the Renmark player. I reckon that might be...
Umpire's played.
It might be Rover, is it?
That is Josh Vader.
Josh Vader.
The coach of the Renmark Rovers.
Yep, nice mark too. Came from 3 back.
So kicking directly in front to what has been the non-scoring end of this game.
Barmera did kick one there the first quarter. This will be an important kick, and he's nailed it.
Directly in front, the Rovers respond back within 1 point.
Yep, that's the score. Is 3-1-19 Barmera Monash, leading Renmark 2-6-18 on the Berry Better scoreboard. The coach took himself forward. Did you note, Lockie, in that he actually hit the ball, and the ball did hold up and fell a bit short, but he went through the pack and took the mark.
Yeah, well, Gillard was clearly the target there, which, it goes without saying. He's going to be the target 9 times out of 10, but as you said, Vader read that well. Yeah,
all defenders were looking at Gillard, and Vader presented at the contest as the second option and took the ball.
So just on 10 minutes played, second quarter Riverland footy on 5RM for McDonald's Renmark.
Bonnie versus Gartery in the ruck. Ball about to go up. Gartery has had the better of the ruck duels at the moment and does again. Gets first hand on it towards Lellman, towards Harrison Brown, he can't get out. Who comes out with it?
Here's
Matthew Watke.
Inside 50, punched. Rovers trying to clear this one out. They look a bit frazzled. Couple of quick handballs, but great stuff there from the Renmark
Morgan
Rovers.
Edwards it was. Out with
great follow-up tackle. Good second efforts.
That was Morgan Edwards for Renmark, trying to bring the ball clear of half-back. But Barmera up to put the forward pressure on.
So a ball up just on the painted 50. Barmera's end. Warnett kicks inside 50. That's a booming kick. It's got the journey. It has.
That is the Berry Better goal of the day, Lockie.
Lucas Warnett.
Yeah. Had a great
loves the Renmark visit.
Had a solid first quarter and has continued on in this quarter.
Takes the margin out to 7 points. Barmera Monash with the advantage on the Berry Better scoreboard. They've got the largest ranges of Engel fridges in the Riverland, and I tell you what, they might need to find one to put this Barmera Monash midfield in a fridge soon, Renmark Rovers, to cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, an absolute busload of changes here at the interchange, with 3 coming on for Barmera and Justin Bonnie coming on. Chris Bonnie coming off, as did Watke, having a spell.
It's Fraser Sampson there, the coach too, just trying to work out a couple of things.
Bit of hand waving going on there from his assistant. Up goes the ball again. Gartery, first hand on it, looks for Ricky Garrett, but followed up by Jack Austin, the opposing ruckman. He tries to push it forward. Burton tries to get foot on ball in there in the pack. Goes back again for another look. Gets it forward towards Warnett. Couldn't get a handle on it. The ball comes across half back for Renmark. They look up. Lellman with time finds Matt Wolford on the wing. He looked to the handball to his brother Dan, but held on to it. He will take the kick off centre wing.
Rovers with the footy. Inboard. Lellman was looking the wrong way. That's hit the deck. Intercept from the Roos, and this is where they are dangerous. Butterworth kicks the other way to space, but it doesn't matter because Warnett's going to run onto it. Trevor Thorpe for the Rovers tries to scrape it up. Still inside the defensive 50
Renmark
for the Rovers.
Dragged that in. Lucky to get away with that, I think, the Renmark player. He dragged that in under, but had a player on top of him. That was Harry Beavis.
Yeah, one of the defenders for the Rovers for many years. Ball up just inside the attacking 50 for the Barmera Monash Roos. They go to ground. There's Dane Austin. He ducked his head but got a handball away. Warnett kick was smothered, wrapped up, and we'll have another ball up.
Yeah, gee whiz, contest very keen at stoppages. No team prepared to give the other a free kick out of there.
Still inside the attacking 50 for Barmera Monash. Good pick up from Lockie Lellman, but couldn't find a teammate. AJ Hem tries to pick it up. Socked back, and that's out on the full from Lellman. So we'll get a free kick for the Barmera Monash Roos. 70 out from their goal.
I think there's a few concentration issues around the ball from a couple of Rovers players. I think the pressure applied is he's putting them under not just physical pressure but mental pressure. Wilden here at half forward to drive the ball forward for Barmera. Goes long with the breeze. Everyone looking into the sun. Whoa!
Dane Austin drove through the pack. Now Jono Beach gets it on the boot. Is that the goal of the day? That's a contender for sure. And the Roos take the lead out to 13 points. Barmera Monash.
3 goals for Jono Beach today, and that's probably the best of the 3 he's kicked. And looked dangerous around the footy, and we were expecting that from perhaps Nick Gillard as well, who has yet to hit the scoreboard. So my number 2 seeded player in Jonathan Beach with 3 goals might be forcing me to adjust my seedings next week, Lockie.
Well, 5-1-31, Barmera Monash takes on the Renmark Rovers, 2-6-18. The home side struggling as we get a little bit closer to the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. Still a fair bit of this quarter to go. Yeah,
Renmark having 2 more shots at goal than Barmera, but trailing them by 13 points on the Berry Better scoreboard.
In this quarter, 4 goals to 1. Barmera Monash with the advantage. It's a phenomenal effort.
Yeah, up it goes again. Jack Austin back in the ruck against Rover this time.
Barmera Monash with the clearance again, up to half forward. That's a loose footy. The Rovers have got to clear this one out. Lellman tried to pick it up, thought against that, and then went again anyway.
You can see the game plan from the Barmera Monash Roos here in what Lucas Warnett's doing. He just tried to knock that ball forward. It's at goals all the time. They're knocking it towards their goals and looking to run onto it.
Just looking behind the play here. There's a bit of a tag being applied to a couple of Rovers on-ballers.
Yeah, Thomas Austin running with Tim Wolford is doing a fair job as well.
Gillard now in the middle, but intercept from Millington for the Barmera Monash Roos. Finds Warnett again. He's our young charger of the day so far by a mile. Inboard 50, looks for Beach, and that's a solid mark. The Roos will go back for another shot on goal.
It was excellent delivery from the young fella too, and he's playing that high half forward role on the forward flank, and he's playing on the forward flank where he can turn back into the middle onto his natural left foot, and the ground's open on the other side, and Beach is right onto it. He's leading to that space. A couple of nice kicks from Warnett.
So kicking from 35 out, slight angle, ball's on the way.
There's a goal.
He's happy. And the Barmera Monash Roos kick their 6th for the day. 19 points the lead.
Jono Beach kicks his 4th and takes Barmera to 6-1-37, leading Renmark 2-6-18.
Tell you what, they're going to need some slowing down pretty soon. Renmark Rovers, what answers do they have?
Well, apart from their coach, Vader, who went forward and kicked the only goal of the quarter, they're not looking like any sort of system taking the ball forward, and Barmera aren't giving them any opportunity out of the middle.
And I'm not sure if other coaches might be, reviewing this a little bit later, but maybe a couple of tags on some key Rovers midfielders could be the secret sauce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ball up, it is 16 minutes gone, nearly 17 minutes gone. The Rovers, they get it inside 50, but it's going to be turned out just as quick. A couple of loose handballs. The Rovers inboard, kicking at goal. It's on its way. It's through for a minor score.
I reckon that was AJ...
Mitch Jenke, maybe? 9? I reckon that was Mitch. Yeah, it was... Anyway, apologies for that. This is 5-room football for McDonald's Renmark.
Burst through the pack, but can only kick a behind when they need goals.
So he takes the score out for the Rovers to 2-7.
Ball comes back into play from Barmera, looking for Bonnie. Gets first bite of it, but couldn't hold the mark. Renmark mop it up. Back to Brodie Rover. Thumps a mongrel punt into the forward lines, but only as far as Barmera Monash's Sam Butterworth, is it? No.
10, Justin Bonnie.
Great
read the play there.
Switches out to the scoreboard side.
Kicks it wide. Handball's back inboard. The Roos work it up the eastern wing, or down the eastern wing. Finds Jack Austin. Just props for a second. Umpire says hurry it up. He's screaming for it. Burton went past, but he kicked it anyway. Inside 50. Looks for Beach. Tap forward. Jamison Whitbourne was there, but it's been turned around.
By Gillard.
Gillard's now in defence for the Rovers.
Are they hanging on to half-time, do you think,
That might be. Morgan Edwards now trying to have another crack at this one. Oh, the Rovers have got a couple of numbers here. If they can get a couple of clean possessions, I spoke too soon, they can't. We'll get a ball up.
Look, there was 3 players with Beach there, 3 Renmark players with Beach when that ball come in. And they're Beach conscious, as you would be when he's kicked 4 goals, including the last 2. Looks up, Beach on a lead, no.
Oh, a loose player inside 50. And that is the number 18 of Lockie Marks, who's just slipped in there. No one picked that up. And Barmera and Monash are going to have another shot on goal here.
Good use of the ball by Barmera, because obviously Beach being a focal point for the defence, all getting around him and leaving players like Lockie Marks loose.
You see this a bit. They're focused on the big names, which is a given, but
big
anyway.
Contract for the young fella from this pocket on his left foot. Puts it up.
Ooh,
misses
that looked
to the
good,
left.
but it's a minor score.
Another behind, a second behind for Barmera. They takes them to 5-2-38, leading Renmark 2-7-19.
6-2. They'll be
6-2, is it?
6-2, yep.
6-2-18, yep, it is.
6-2-38.
38. They've got the total right, but not the goals. Here's Fraser Sampson at half forward for Barmera. Grabs the ball, taken over by Liam Jackson. A little bit of a how you going? Saxton Mitchell stepping in there to protect his coach. Jackson manning up on Sampson by the looks.
Couple of quick changes there for Renmark. Just on 19 and a half minutes gone. Didn't go too far from the ball in right in front of us broadcast wing here at Renmark.
There's a lot of players running with players, Lockie. There's Wilden on Ricky Garrett.
Tim Walford with the kick out of the clearance. Finds Rhett Perry, but it was out of bounds.
That'll be a kick in for Barmera there on the centre wing. Taken by Millington, about to be taken by Millington.
Into the side this morning. Holden playing all right.
Also got Harrison Brown running with Sam Butterworth too.
Got told to play it on, but doesn't matter because finds Justin Bonney. Just conceded a bit of ground. Bonney drives inside the centre square. Finds Whitbourne, who had his own paddock.
His beach.
Props. Kicks over the top. Tap forward. Shepherd.
That was high, but he rode it well. Watke gets it on the boot, drives it forward for Barmera. Wow, courageous effort there by the Barmera Monash player Steve Burton, running back with the ball, but couldn't bring it in.
A Warnett, a wild kick at goal, but it was on the goalkeeper from Lockie Lellman, who's doing his best work. The Rovers try and drive this one out. They managed to do so. Ben Kelly.
Yeah, Dan Wolford takes the mark at half back. Shoot looks up. Finds Mitchell Jenke out there at half back. They still haven't left their defensive 50 yet.
So Jenke down the line. And that's going to go. Harrison Brown was a target, but it was Bonney for the Roos that got the mark. Finds his brother Chris. Drives it inboard. There's Burton in the middle. The Roos look dangerous. Drives it inside.
Lovely
50.
kick.
Good mark from John O'Beach.
Lovely kick.
I tell you what, this Barmera and Monash side are looking pretty dangerous, Nobby Norton.
They certainly are. And Beach lines up for his...
Sorry, Jack Austin. That's Jack Austin.
Sorry. Who's had a fair game too. More around the ground than tap rucking, but pretty kicking into the Barmera and Monash forward lines by players like Burton and Warnett and co has been high quality, Lockie.
He played for the Rovers. Now he's a Roo, and he slots that goal. Jack Austin. Goal number 7 for Barmera and Monash.
Yep.
Takes the margin out to 25 points.
7-2-44, leading Renmark 2-7-19. Gee, I know it's only, we're not even to half-time, Lockie, but you think this is starting to get a bit dangerous for the Rovers?
Rovers can score quickly, so I wouldn't write them off just yet, but they're going to need to find something at half-time.
Back onto the ground comes Coach Bader and Nick Gillard, both coming back on and both heading forward.
You're right, though, about those early misses that, you know, were probably gettable goals for Renmark. If that was, say, 4 goals 4 or 4 goals 5 right now for Renmark, it would look a lot better, wouldn't it?
It's probably only the 3 set shots that they really coughed up. Here's the ball coming out. Bonney again gets a kick out. Through comes Brown off half-back. No, sorry, it was Trevor Thorpe off half-back towards Ricky Garrett, who gets a kick forward for Renmark. but cut out by Barmera Monash's Jack Albrick, who looks up and switches straight away to a teammate. No closer to goal, but across the ground.
Just hold station for a second. Kicks up the line. I reckon that was Fraser Douglas with that one. It was too.
Barmera going too short in the back lines for my liking, Lockie. They've driven the ball forward long, and it's been very successful for them. And to turn around and do 3 little chip kicks like that across half back in these conditions, not sure if that's what I'll be doing. Up goes the ball, comes out this time. Jamison Whitbourne slams it on his boot up to the wing, but Gartery in the back play for Renmark takes the mark at centre.
They're going to have to be quick, Renmark. Just a small kick. Finds Declan Johnson.
Rare touch for Declan.
Just looking for a target. Finds Garrett. Albeit about 15 metres closer to goal. Kick over the top from Garrett. Finds Dan Walford. Dan wastes no time. Kicks to the top of the square. Can someone get under this? They can't. Tap forward. Barmera Monash with the ball wrapped up from the Rovers, and we'll get a ball up. 30 out from the Rovers goal as we get close to half-time. 24 minutes gone. 5 footy for McDonald Renmark.
Yep, that was Justin Bonney in there being thrown to the ground by his Renmark opposition. Oh, lovely tackle.
Oh, umpires, that's high. That's a sling tackle, I reckon.
Gee whiz, bit unlucky.
Hang on, what's that?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
A bit unlucky there.
So Gillard's going to have a shot.
He took the player with the ball, and unfortunately, I think the player sort of relaxed enough so he could be thrown around a bit. Look, this is a very important shot at goal for Gillard. He's yet to trouble the scorers in the major department. And would you say this is a much-needed goal by the Renmark Rovers before half-time?
This is as important a kick as ever. Ball's on the way.
He's missed everything. Absolutely everything. That one's out in the full.
This reminds me of a forward we saw last week at Waikerie, Nobby, who had a fair bit of it and couldn't really find the middle until the very later part of the game.
His first half was not so good. Talon Eagle you're talking about, but his second half was exceptional, and he's actually was one of their better players, but like you said, missed some early shots.
I'm seeing shades of Talon Eagle's first half last week here from Gillard.
Both of those guys left-footers too.
So the Roos with the ball in the back pocket, they drive it up to the back flank, just a kick over the back, handball, they run onto it, Anspach had it, but was wrapped up straight away from Warnett.
That was a good tackle because he pulled the player back towards him rather than ride him into the ground. Up goes the ball at centre wing. Bonnie getting his hands on it first, but Renmark coming away with the footy. This time Garrett again. He's done a bit.
Oh,
that was
Anspach. Handball over the line. Umpires are going to have a bit of a chat here, it looks like. I don't know. The
umpire called it, and so there it is. The only reason the central umpire came in is because Renmark player quizzed it. That's Whitbourne. As Wacky, is it?
That was Wacky, yep. But it's the Rovers through Harrison Brown. That's all. That kick's hit the deck. Lockie Marks, can he run onto that? He was wrapped up by Lelman Lucky.
Now, tell me, Lockie, what's the difference between that tackle and the one we saw at the other end?
I think Gillard knew how to relax more.
Yeah.
It's just how the rules are written. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the decision. It's just how the rules are written these days, unfortunately.
Garrett goes for the mark in the middle for Renmark, but can't bring it in. Barmera onto the loose ball. So was Liam Jackson, but he couldn't get hold of it either. Throws it back to the umpire. That'll be a ball up almost in the centre of the ground.
Umpires cop the wrong end of the stick. It needs to be the rules committee that get the criticism.
There we are.
This is Fibre football. As you said, half-time, Nobby. What a game it is. I've got 7-2-44 Barmera Monash to Renmark 2-7-19.
Yep, I've got the same.
That's good. All equal. This is Fibre footy. Half-time at Renmark. We'll go back to the Sideline View studio with Rob Laurie and get the latest from around the grounds. Rob Laurie, over to you.
the two songs, if that spot block to return to us is playing at, say, 3:40 or even a little bit earlier, we should be right. Uh, 3:49. Yeah, that'd be right. 3:49, 10 minutes from now. Yep, sweet. Sounds good. Cheers. Yeah, Rob, it's a great afternoon of footy as always. Both teams just returning after half-time. The Renmark Rovers, the home team, they got a bit of work to do. Everyone's having a great day, though. There is very much a carnival atmosphere here, which is great to see. Nobby Norton's been alongside me. Nobby, you've been crunching the numbers. What do you got?
Yeah, look, I'm going to give everyone the goal kickers first up. For Barmera Monash, Jono Beach with 4 goals, 3 in that quarter. Singles to Matt Watke, Lucas Warnett and Jack Austin. For Renmark, just the 2 goal kickers. Dan Wolford 1 in the first quarter, Josh Vader 1 in that quarter. And some of the better players for both sides. For the leading team for Barmera Monash, I got Matthew Watke. Jamison Whitbourne continued on from his first quarter. Lucas Warnett was good across half forward. Gave Beach plenty of opportunity, and Beachy with 4 goals has been out quite well. Chris Bonney in rucks had a few touches. Justin Bonney in backlines, and Jack Austin in ruck has had not so much at the hit-outs, but done a bit around ground and kicked the last goal of the half. For Renmark, Josh Vader's done his utmost to try and lead from the front. Liam Jackson's been in hard in and under. I thought Lellman's been solid. Harrison Brown, who I reckon is running with Barmera Monash's Sam Butterworth, has played okay. Dan Wolford a little bit, and Zach Garter is probably the best ruckman on the ground. He's had a fair dip. But the question I have for you, Lockie Winnell, is this the 7th time that Renmark are going to lose at the Renmark Oval since 2021?
I'm not going to put that in the book just yet. I've seen Renmark destroy teams very quickly, so I'll make that call at three-quarter time, all right?
But I'm going to make it right now. I think
the bold
yes,
call. I think Renmark have got a bit left in the tank. I don't know. It's very good to go into a half-time with a 25-point margin, but it's not a game-defining margin.
No, absolutely. And this is the premiership quarter, and Renmark coming out and going with the breeze, trailing by just over 5 goals, isn't it, Lockie?
Yes, 5 goals. 7-2-44 plays, 2-7-19.
Yeah, so they're going to need to be within 2 goals at three-quarter time if they can finish over the top of Barmera, who'll be coming home with this strong breeze, which is not getting any lighter. So
I will note, though, I think the breeze it was gusty before. Now it's more consistent. It's dropped off a little bit, but it's a very consistent breeze.
I think the thing we'll need to see from the Renmark Rovers is a little bit more system up forward and perhaps some more control of the ball across the middle, so they can actually have some time to hit up players. And we saw how Barmera hit up Jonathan Beach in that quarter. Guys like Lucas Warnett and others that brought the ball forward to Jono Beach and gave him every opportunity to lead and mark. Now, we haven't seen that in the Renmark side yet because they haven't had enough ball across the centre without being under the hammer. So they will need to make sure they play with a bit of system. Perhaps Gillard, who hasn't kicked a goal yet, had a couple of opportunities, kicked one out in the full, kicked another that didn't even make it. He will need, and a behind, he will need to be their prime mover up forward, along with perhaps Alex Haynes, who's been playing in defence, but perhaps he gets moved forward.
I was just about to say that. You've got to roll the dice. For me, I'm putting Gillard at centre-half forward, a true centre-half forward,
yep.
And then I'm putting Haynes at full forward. I know he's doing a job on in defence, but
yep.
To win a game, you've got to kick more goals in the opposition.
Yeah, it's time to, like you said, to move the chairs around a little bit. You're not on the Titanic just yet, but move the seats and get the magnets moving on the magnet board and see what we can come up with. Look, even some of the lockdown players you've got on other players, it might be time to just say, well, okay, we are going to make them chase us. We're going to put the pressure on them by getting to the ball first. So we'll see what happens. And like you said, there's plenty of capacity in that Renmark side when you look at Matt Wolford, Tim Wolford, Dan Wolford. These guys are top-notch players and need to start getting hold of the footy and driving it forward consistently to give guys like Gillard and co a chance to put the score on the board.
Looks like Renmark have made a bit of a change, and they have got Morgan Edwards now in their forward 50
yep.
as a target up as a true full forward. So
yep.
A couple of tweaks there, albeit minor.
Yeah, and Declan Johnson coming out to start at centre-half forward with Justin Bonney on him. You say Justin Bonney's probably had the better of that duel so far?
Yeah, he's probably the defender of the day so far.
Butterworth back on. Butterworth running with Ricky Garrett. I think Ricky Garrett's running with Butterworth, actually, trying to lock him down, not give him easy ball off half-back. Up it goes. Ruckman into it, but the ball goes nowhere. It'll be a secondary ball up to start the second half of the game at Renmark.
Yeah, it's the visitors leading by 25 here at Renmark this afternoon. 5-room football for McDonald's Renmark. Renmark trying to clear this one out, but we'll have a third ball up in the first 28 seconds of this third quarter.
Yeah, just trailing by a tick over 4 goals is probably, you'd be thinking, look, we're still in it, even though Barmera have had much better of the play. We're only 4 goals down.
Ball up again. Still on the cricket pitch. We haven't gone that far. Good tap from Gartree this time. Dan Walford couldn't run onto it, but Matt picked up the crumbs and drives it long inside attacking 50. Running onto it, Morgan Edwards had that footy. He was wrapped up as soon as he got it by Jed Millington, and will get a ball up 35 out from the Rovers goal. They need something here.
Yeah, Brody Rover up in the ruck. Yeah, sorry, Brody was the key forward up in the ruck. You can see what their strategy is. They're going to shoot it in long with the breeze to the big fella, and they've got plenty of little fellas around like Jackson and Co around him to try and take Rover over the top, punches towards goals.
Harrison Brown trying to unroll it. Good dish up off the deck to Declan Johnson. He got a wild old kick away to the top of the square.
Almost Gillard.
Unable to mark it. Gillard, it's still a hot footy. Roos try and clear it out, but a great intercept mark from Tim Wolford. So he's got the footy still inside the attacking 50. Just hold station. Good call, Tim.
Now, we saw Watke kick a goal from out here, Lockie, that was further out than this in exactly the same spot. So Tim Wolford, this is in his range. He's just got to look at that left-hand post. Matter of fact, I think, Lockie, if he slots this might give them the confidence to get back into the game.
They're going to need something. They don't lose at home too often. Wolford on the way, kicks pretty much on the painted 50. It looks good off the deck, but it drifts late. And that's a minor score.
Yeah, distance not the problem. That went through by plenty, but missed to the right. Butterworth to bring the ball back in for Barmera Monash.
24 points the margin.
On the very better scoreboard.
Just plays on, tucks the ball under, and I think he's about to have a bounce. No one's really running to him. Butterworth finds a teammate.
Bonnie, is it? Justin?
No, that was Trent Ogle over there.
Trent Ogle, yep.
Dishes inboard to Whitbourne, who's having an absolute ripper game this afternoon.
Well, if Trent misses mentions, it's because he's played on that far side wing all day. He's just stayed out there.
A wobbly old kick over the top, but Watke dishes it up. Handballs to Burton. Burton couldn't quite tuck it under, but it was Warnett that got a kick away. It was a wild old kick out of bounds, just not inboard. That was Beach. Brings it back inboard. Finds Burton. Burton's still in this game. Inside attacking 50, but a great intercept mark from the Rover defender in Morgan Edwards.
Yep, doing his bit back there. Sort of playing the Tim Blight role, you'd say, Lockie, in back lines.
Yeah, a bit of a hold down. Rovers are going to go on the switch here. Back to Trevor Thorpe at full back and kicks it to the broadcast pocket.
Matt Wolford out here on the wing. Gets the ball. Looks on his left foot.
Oh, that's a...
Looks up towards Declan Johnson. Can't get a handle on it.
Still inboard, just. 1 on 2. Great work, Declan Johnson. Dishes over to Jackson. Inboard to Vader. Vader inside attacking 50.
Lovely
to Gillard. Couldn't quite mark it.
Look, you'd say that's the first passage of play that Renmark have had the ball to run towards their forward lines and actually move a bit of system, and it almost came off.
Saxton Mitchell with the job on Gillard, and we saw this in last year's final series. He could hold him down and sort of had Gillard's measure there in that final.
Yeah, Gillard's that dangerous a player, though. He only needs 1 or 2 possessions. And
tackled without it. Declan Johnson tries to drive it through. Then Brody Rover had a crack. He's going to get a free kick. Just seeing who this has been paid for here. Rover's got it.
I would have thought that was being paid for incorrect disposal, but all of a sudden the umpire has inserted himself in here and paid it for throwing him to the ground. And look at the size of the guy. That he was only about half his size through the big fella to the ground. I don't know if that was really there.
So he dished it out and was thrown to the ground. You'd say, what, after disposal, Nobby?
Yeah, it wasn't paid for hanging on. It was paid for a rough tackle.
So, Brody Rover. Can he slot this one? They need something.
He has, I reckon. No, he's missed
a score.
He's missed to the left, which takes Renmark to, is that scoreboard correct? 2-9-21 or is it 2-10?
Yeah, 2-9-21.
2-9-21, trailing Barmera Monash 7-2-44. Gee whiz, bad kicking's bad footy. Both those set shots this quarter should have been made. It would have made the difference, only 2 goals, but we're looking at almost a 4-goal margin here to Barmera Monash.
They go on the hard way, that's for sure.
Ball comes back in from Justin Bonney, plays on from fullback, looks out wide to the defensive side and finds Jack Austin. He's had a fair game around the ground, taking a couple of clungers.
Drives it to the scoreboard wing.
To Beach. Beach flicks it back over his shoulder, drives the ball forward for Barmera Monash. And running onto this loose ball is Warnett again, puts the pressure on his Renmark teammate, Renmark defender who comes out. Lellman gets hold of it, handballs it on. Chain of handballs, this is Harrison Brown. He handballs to Dan Wolford. Another handball out. Matt Wolford over this side all on his own, but no one able to get it to him. And Justin Bonney again.
Oh, tackle without it. Umpire's going to pay that every day.
Holding the ball.
Oh, wow, okay.
Gee whiz.
Okay, so...
It almost looks like the umps are inserting themselves in the game here to try and make it a bit of a contest.
I don't mind that, that's for sure. Gets it close. Everyone wants to listen to footy on 5RM for McDonald's Renmark when there's a close game. Adrian.
Yeah, too true. Adrian
Herodor, yep.
On his right foot this time.
Oh, it's 15 with the wind. Has it made the journey? It has. That's what the Rovers needed. Finally.
That's the first goal of the second half. That narrows the margin to under 3 goals. Makes it Renmark 3-9-25, is it?
3-9-27. 7-2-44.
44. I've got to stop looking at that scoreboard and start looking at the one we got here close by, Lockie, because not only can I see it better, but it's more accurate.
It's quality control here at... we're running 2 laptops today. We've got a bit of Dell and a bit of HP action as well.
Would you say that was against the run of play, and a couple of free kicks to Renmark inside their forward 50, and they were able to make use of one of them, but not the other?
It was probably the other one, I thought, that was probably more a certainty to go through.
Yeah.
7 minutes gone, third quarter Riverland footy on 5-0 for McDonald's Renmark.
Up it goes in the middle. Gartery first hand on the ball. Through comes Josh Vader, but couldn't get his hands on it. Ball getting knocked around in there. Wrong way, son. He's going the wrong way, but then handballs it to Trent Oval.
Looks for Beach, but a thumping tap forward. That was 35 of Alex Haynes.
Yep.
He still runs on it, chasing it hard. Now we got Morgan Edwards trying to get in there as well.
Beach goes back after it. Handballs out. This time to Ogle. Can't get free, but gets the ball out just the same. Renmark have come out with a lot more vigour this quarter.
Liam Jackson dives on it. We'll get a ball up. Just on the far wing here. Ooh. It's a bit of niggle out there in this third quarter.
And potentially, sometimes when you're first to the ball and running and attacking hard, that's why the umpires tend to see it one way.
That's what I like. Protect the attacking footballers.
To Jackson off the ruck, but he couldn't get it clear. He's wrapped up. It'll be another ball up by Tony Florence. Whistle goes. What's going on here?
We've got a behind the
play. There's a little bit of how you going here, and the free kick will go to Barmera. So undisciplined play by the Renmark forwards.
Right. So,
cross to Justin Bonney at halfback, at true centre halfback for Barmera Monash. He looks up. Not many options, so he goes straight down the middle. But this time chipping in is the veteran Trevor Thorpe. Takes the mark at halfback for Renmark.
Run against the flight of the ball. Great intercept mark. Drives it back.
Rover.
Great mark from Brodie Rover. That's a mark of the day.
Yeah, under pressure. He's lifted. He's given him something going forward. He drives it to the goal square towards Gillard.
Bangs it long. It doesn't matter. It's going to roll through for a goal anyway. That's the goal of the day if they're going to allow this one to go through.
I'm not sure what the umpire's paid here. He's paid a free kick against Gillard, has he? No, he's played the advantage, and that's a goal.
I tell you what.
Goal to Rover. Rover.
That kick would have been 70 out.
Yep.
It rolled through. It wasn't on the full.
So 2 goals in a row to Renmark. First time today they've kicked consecutive goals, and they narrow the margin to under 2 goals early in this third quarter.
You know, I said I didn't want to call it at half-time, Nobby.
That's why.
This is why. Renmark can put away teams very quickly. Then saying that, they're trailing by 11 points.
But they've changed their whole game plan. They're going long and deep and down the middle to the goal square, and that's what they should have been doing all along in the first quarter, and they couldn't quite get the ball free. The game has opened up a little bit in the middle, though, to give them opportunity to do so.
And the thing
it goes.
The Rovers do is they don't panic.
Yep.
Back in the middle it is, couple of quick handballs, and now it's Barmera Monash that are trying to get it on quickly. Oh, great bit of work from Josh Vader. The coach himself, he's lifting, so the team's lifting around him. Drifts wide to the scoreboard wing, Barmera Monash.
Another tackle.
Now Renmark, can they go another inside 50? They can. Looks for Gillard here, was looking the other way. Great intercept, Marcus. Saxton Mitchell.
Yeah, lovely work by Mitchell. And gets a 25 because he copped the little clip around the ears from Gillard there after he'd taken a strong mark.
And that's one for the defenders.
Justin Bonney in the centre. They switch again. Cross it comes. Waiting out here for it is Fraser Douglas. Onto his left foot, but you'd say Renmark have lifted their game on the 1%ers. Hey, the smothered.
Harrison Brown tucks under it. He dragged it back in, but umpire says my ball.
The umpire's always going to pay that one. He's a long way away in the middle, and all he could see was the ball going under, not him pull it in. So ball goes up. Renmark well back into this contest. Tim Wolford being held there in the ruck throw up. Held by Chris Bonney. He'll take the free kick here on centre wing.
It's a couple of mistakes from Barmera Monash starting to creep into this now.
Bit of undisciplined play and a bit of the hard play by Renmark. Here's Rover again, but couldn't get his hands to it.
Out of bounds it goes. Inside attacking 50 for the Rovers, however. In front of the club rooms, this has been the scoring pocket.
I think a signal here that Fraser Sampson's thrown himself into the back line as a loose man in defence to just settle down the side, settle down his team against the breeze.
They're going to need something. Ball in. Tap forward from Rover. It's a good tap. Into advantage. They all wrapped up and tackled. That's high, but it's a free kick to Barmera Monash in defence.
Who was that against again? Against Rhett Perry this time. You'd say the Renmark guys have come out far more vigorous and aggressive.
Sampson with the kick for Barmera. Good tap over the line. That was Morgan Edwards there for Renmark.
Josh Vader cheering his side on from the coach's box, having a quick breather. He sort of started the trend in this quarter. He's a couple of smothers, a couple of hard ball gets.
And it's the big men that have stepped up.
Yep, Rover in particular.
Rover, Edwards, Morgan, all doing well. Gartree in the ruck, went over the top. Couple of quick handballs. Garrett thought about diving in.
High tackle, that was a high tackle. Barmera getting the free kick this time. Fraser Douglas comes out, looks up, shoots the ball out wide.
The short 45, as they say in the textbook. That's nearly over the boundary line.
To Moore got up, shovels the ball out, but only as far as Adrian Herodor, who kicks it across the middle towards Ricky Garrett.
That was Jenky there, I reckon.
Was it?
Wrapped up, it was nearly high.
Herodor back, no, it wasn't Herodor back in, it was Morgan Edwards back in there. He's come up the ground.
I like it. The Rovers have worked out something that's clicked. Got a ripping game, Riverland footy here. Ball up, 60 out from the Rovers' goal. Douglas for Barmera Monash tries to scoop it up. He can't. Wilden got one hand on it, and he was tackled by Jackson. And there's a bit of action here.
But you've got to say the umpires have been consistent on calling this. But Wilden was thrown to the ground by Jackson, landed on his back, gets up, takes the free kick. He's looking for somewhere to send it. Sampson's giving him the message. Slow it down. Take it easy, shoots it up down the line.
Oh, Tim Wolford, great intercept, got a hand on it, kept it inboard, albeit just. Wilden for Barmera Monash. He had to pick it up again, but he couldn't get too far. Umpire says my ball will get a ball up. Clubroom's wing here at Renmark this afternoon.
There's another
time, 13 and a half minutes gone.
There's another player who's lifted, Tim Wolford.
Ball up, 60 out from the Rovers' goal. Barmera Monash trying to run it. Ricky Garrett, the grand final wizard himself, kicks it inside 50, looks for a teammate, finds one. Brody Rover again stands up once again, and the Rovers are back in town. They trail by less than a goal.
That's 3 goals in a row by Renmark, and last two from Brody Rover, and that's narrowed the margin right down to less than a goal, Lockie.
I like it. The Renmark Rovers.
Yep.
I mean, it would be unfortunate if Brody Rover did play for the Barmera Monash Roos, because it would be very confusing for us. But luckily, Brody Rover plays for the Renmark Rovers.
Yes, it does. And it's a pretty good move, moving him forward as their key attacking option. And he's answered the challenge that his coach has set him at half-time.
Well, we only said that at half-time, that maybe it's time to put Gillard up a little bit and send someone else deep.
Yep, Vader back onto the ground and back into the middle. You can't help but sense that he can smell blood here. They're going to be in front at three-quarter time, I think.
I like it. This is the ruthless Renmark that we know. Back into the middle. Gartree tapped behind, nearly onto Vader, but it just bounced the wrong way. Now he's wrapped up a player, tackling. Yep.
Looked a bit like a bit of rugby league there. He was trying for a try, Jack Austin. Back the ball goes up. Gartery, first hand on the ball, flicks it back to Dan Wolford, comes through the pack this time, gets it out on his boot, out to the vacant wing. First to it will be Fraser Sampson for Barmera. Gets in front.
And Mitch Jenke now, he's going to get the crumbs. They're going to try and shuffle this one over. It's still in play.
Sampson used done for pace there, but he kept his body in line so that the Renmark player couldn't get past him and get to the football. Ball up by Umpire Florence on the far side wing.
5 footy for McDonald's, Renmark. Both rucks just read that wrong. They jumped before the ball had even got up in the air.
Score 7 goals. Barmera Monash 7 goals to 44, leading Renmark 5-9-39 on the Berry Better scoreboard. 5 points the difference.
I like it. We're in for a ripping fourth quarter. Just on 16 minutes gone. Third quarter Riverland footy on 5RM. Out of the contest. Getting closer to Renmark's attacking 50. They run it through. That was Vader. Yep. It looks for Rover. It goes over the top, but there's a foot race on. And Herodor, look at the pace he's got.
That was
Ricketts manages to clear it out for Barmera Monash. Butterworth has got a bit of a time to kick this one. Kicks in board, but it was a pressure kick. Running through the middle goes Moore. He's been one of Barmera's best. He got the kick away when he was tackled. Rovers are going to pick this one up. Anspatch couldn't quite get it. Oh no, Barmera Monash have another crack.
To Beach.
Now it's Beach back in board. Missed the target.
Vader mops it up.
For Renmark. Umpire says my ball. 50 out from Barmera's goal.
Yeah, sorry, it cost me a handball error there, Lockie. Barmera had the numbers and we're heading towards goal. I don't know if Beach really needed to handball it off. He could have got around that player, I reckon, but good team play just the same. Through comes Jamison Whitbourne, out to John O'Beach. Fumbles it a bit, goes back onto his left, shoots it up into the pocket to give his teammate an opportunity to get there.
Bounced the wrong way. Harry Beavers for Renmark got in there. Whitbourne was hungry for it, but he was wrapped up straight away and will get a ball up. 15 out from the Roos goal.
They've answered the challenge, Barmera, so far, but haven't put it on the scoreboard.
They're going to need something soon. Ball up it is. Umpire's called something. We're going to get a free.
High tackle. Free kick to Barmera Monash here, I think, Lockie.
It is too.
Is it...
I reckon it is Lockie Marks. He's got that one. The young forward pocket for Barmera Monash.
Had a shot at goal in the last quarter, but only kicked the behind. He's a left footer, Lockie. Geez, going back a long way. So hope the lad can kick over the mark. 17 and a half minutes gone. Rovers lead by 5. Well, Rovers trail by 5. He's got a fair run up here. The breeze has dropped. The flag's almost gone on the far side. And he steers it through. What a lovely kick for goal.
Ball's on its way.
He's hit the post.
Oh, that is frustrating.
Yeah, he hit the post.
7-3 takes the margin out to one perfect goal. Barmera Monash with the lead.
Yep, 7-3, 45, leading Renmark 5-9, 39 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Ball comes back in from the kick in.
And Spatch the target. Didn't make him, but Gartry got it. Now inboard to Dan Wolford. He had a couple of bites at it.
Went back
through traffic. Doesn't matter. Gets a hand out again. Now it's been intercepted. There's Jack Austin for Barmera Monash. Just booms it inboard. It's kicks to no one. They all fly up. Bale's in there. Now it's back to Whitbourne. Barmera Monash conceding a bit of ground, but they're still holding possession. Now Sampson drives it back inboard, attacking 50 and finds...
Lachlan Marks looks up,
inboard,
hits his teammate on the chest, 20 metres out. That's Chris Bonney, is it? No, it's Tony Drugamuller. Taking the mark. Big lump of a lad, this young fella, Lockie.
Yeah, it just popped up in there.
He's got a difficult task kicking a goal from here. It's got to... From this side, if he's a right foot, he's got to put it just inside the far goalpost and hope the breeze holds it back. But the flag is almost stopped.
The breeze has dropped. Ball's on its way.
Lovely kick.
I think he hasn't given it enough.
Too skinny. Gee whiz.
To coin a bowling phrase, yep. You are right. Just didn't give it enough. Didn't allow for the bias.
Handy point, though. Puts Barmera Monash 7 points ahead here in the third quarter. On the Berry Better scoreboard. Back in it comes. You say Renmark are getting numbers to the ball?
Well, they were until about 3 minutes ago. But
a lovely mark there from Barmera. You got to no, he didn't pay it.
You can't ride this quarter out. 19 and a half minutes gone. There's still plenty in it.
Gee whiz, in goes Jamison Whitbourne. He's looking for the hard ball. That tackle. Fantastic. Play on, says the umpire. Ball comes out. Out again to Ryan Moore.
Rory Moore's been done for incorrect disposal.
Gee whiz. He must have been. He's not complaining.
Did look like a little bit of a fast handball, a one-handed handball,
like
you could say.
Like a close throw, you think?
Yeah, and he was the wrong side of the umpire too. So, but as you said, he's not arguing with it.
The old-fashioned Andrew Jarman throw, eh?
I think he knows he's been done. So Renmark drive it inside the centre square, and there's Tim Wolford, one of Renmark's best today. Waste no time, kicks in, attacking 50.
Wonderful mark, Saxon Mitchell.
Defender of the day, honours, certainly he is in amongst it.
He's had the better of Gillard, but gee whiz, there's a quarter to go, and Gillard only needs 1/4 to cut loose, doesn't he?
Barmera Monash work it down the line, out of bounds. The umpire's just calling it here.
On the full, says
on the full.
Yeah, nice try there from the young fella from Barmera Monash.
So
saying, who do I give it to, There's only one person standing there.
I think Renmark's kick's gone out of bounds, just touched. So we're going to get a ball in.
Young Lockie Marks, he's been watching a bit of the AFL. I love it when the players turn to the umpire and say to him, should I give it to him when there's only one person there? Of course you've got to give it to him.
5-room football for McDonald's Renmark. Check out the quality McCafe blend crafted by expert baristas, just the way you like
in it. Goes in. Renmark forward line. Through comes Jamison Whitbourne, tries to break the pack. Gets thrown to the ground, and the umpire will come in and ball this up inside the Renmark attacking 50, going towards the scoreboard side. Bonnie gets first hand to it. Comes out with it is Dan Wolford, but he was wrapped up. It'll be another ball up. This is Lucas Warnett down into the back lines, working hard.
This is 5-room football. Good tap from
Rover
inside. Now Gillard turns. Has he kicked his first of the day?
No.
I think he has kicked it behind.
Gee whiz. He's had a few opportunities, but yet to bring up the 2 flags.
I haven't got the complete stats in front of me, but I reckon he's kicked a goal worth of points.
I got a bit of a guess, Lockie. I know he's kicked one out in the 4, and I reckon he's kicked 4 points. Yeah. So he's getting close to that first goal.
Well, hopefully.
In points.
Barmera Monash drill this one back in. There's Jack Albrecht with it. Still inside defensive 50. Barmera Monash looking to wind down the clock. 22 minutes gone. Jack drives it wide to a contest, but Barmera Monash get the advantage, and it's being overturned.
It's Gillard up the ground.
Renmark are going to have another bite here. Declan Johnson inside 50. Looks to get it on quickly. Dan Wolford screaming for it. He had a paddock.
Rover calling for it long in the goal square. Goes up and nearly pulls in an uncontested mark. Sam Butterworth mops up. Shoots the ball across to Lockie Marks. The young fella takes the mark. 30 metres out from his defending his goals. Play on, the umpire says. Not 15.
Oh, here we go. Turnover. Josh Vader. Diving handball.
In goes Fraser Sampson. Still couldn't get a push in the back. Gee whiz, I don't know what Fraser Sampson said to the umpires, but whatever it is, he isn't getting any favours.
Right, Josh Vader has turned up the wick this quarter.
Oh, for sure. He's leading from the front. And you can't demand something of your team if you don't do it yourself, and he has done that.
If anything, getting an early advantage on Renmark is probably not a good thing, because it just makes them more angry.
Well, they're going to play each other another couple of times and again in the finals, Lockie. So they've probably got... so this is round 1 of a 5-round contest, I reckon.
Perhaps. Still inside, attacking 50 for Renmark. Can they get something late here? 23 and a half minutes played. 6 points the margin. A home side trails.
Yep, 5-10 Renmark, 40, trailing Barmera Monash 7-4, 46 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Ball up, ball locked away again. This time, I think, Matt Watke on the bottom of the pack, I reckon, is it? Yep.
So getting close to three-quarter time.
Ball up again. No one in front of centre from either team at the moment. Gartery over the top, thumps it forward.
Yeah, Declan Johnson was tackled. The ball spills out. Still inside, attacking 50 for Renmark. They're hungry to hold this one in, and they do.
That was Ricky Garrett running towards the goals for Renmark, wrapped up by Justin Bonney, who was very carefully wrestled into the ground, not wanting to give anything away. There we go, three-quarter time here at the Renmark Oval with the home side trailing by 1 straight goal to Barmera Monash. 7-4, 46 to Renmark, 5-10, 40. Big comeback in that third quarter by Renmark, giving themselves a bit of a chance.
Looking forward to it. A big fourth quarter to come. We must cross back to the Sideline View studio with Rob Laurie and get the lowdown on what's happening around the grounds. Rob, what do you got? Rob, I'm excited. I knew it was going to be a good day when I went and voted this morning in Monash because I couldn't go to Winky, but then I went to Renmark, the Las Vegas by the river, I like to call it. Right now, 6 points the margin. Barmera Monash with the lead. Nobby Norton, what a day it's been.
Yeah, good comeback by the Renmark Rovers in that quarter. Kicking, what did they kick? 3 goals, 3 to only 2 points from Barmera Monash. Goal kickers for both sides. For the Barmera Monash, Beach with 4, singles to Watke, Lucas Warnett and Jack Austin. For Renmark, Brody Rover with 2 goals, both in that quarter. He had a great quarter, Brody. He went up 40, became their key target. Dan Wolford with a goal, Adrian Herodor with a beautiful set shot goal, and Josh Vader with one he kicked in the second quarter. So only a goal of difference. And believe it or not, looking at the air sock on the far side, it's fluttering, but I don't reckon the breeze is anywhere near what it was in the first 2 quarters. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily a decider or anything you want to go with. It's going to be who is the fittest side, who is the side prepared to run, who is the side prepared to do the small things, the 1%ers. And we saw in that quarter, Renmark with the side, they smothered, they tackled, they ran for their players. And no one more so than Coach Josh Vader, who led from the front. And it was a big quarter, that quarter, from Tim Wolford, Brody Rover and Josh Vader. They dragged their side back into the game, and others jumped on board that bus and followed.
Definitely, dude. And he is the coach, a playing coach that leads by example.
Yep.
And as you said, it was his best quarter for the game so far by a long way. That halftime speech obviously was about getting the 1%ers right, and Renmark were able to do that in that third quarter. Still waiting on a...
Is Gillard back out there?
Well, I'm just having a look at the moment. We're actually just waiting for a replacement footy. Actually, we've got a flatty. The action is that hot here this afternoon at Renmark.
Yep.
Of course, if you are still needing to vote today, just put in my little service announcement. Make sure you vote.
If I was Barmera's coach, I'd be wanting to have a look at that footy in case it's a special one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Umpire Sean Lasue just checking it's all good.
It's a bit like cricket, you know, when they introduce a new ball, the other captain wants to have a look at it, you know, the batting captain.
I don't think he was happy with that one. I think he might have looked around for another one. Anyway, we've got footy number 2 in the middle.
Up it goes.
Rucks go at it. Good tap from Austin from Barmera Monash, but it finds Vader. Now it's Renmark that go on the attack first. Inside their attacking 50. They need the first goal here. Good mop up from Barmera Monash and Butterworth. He kicks wide to the scoreboard wing and finds a teammate.
Yeah, I reckon that might be Steve Burton out there, Lockie.
It's on the... Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's a big ground here at Renmark.
Drives it down the middle, but only Tim Wolford in the way at halfback. Renmark's starting to play a much cleverer game of footy. Wolford looks up, chips it, but finds Trent Ogle, cuts it out for Barmera. Gets the handball out. Things seem to have slowed down a bit here.
Well, maybe it is a special ball. Now Trev thought this might be his style. Just does the fend off, still with the footy. All the time in the road. Looks for Tim Wolford. It drops short. Wolford fends off a couple of players. Now into Vader. Vader for the Renmark Rovers. It's a wobbly old kick up to the half-forward flank. Rovers still working this one out through Anspach. Now to Garrett. Garrett does the old dummy turn. Handballs back to Anspach. Anspach, handball over the top. Can the Rovers make something of Declan Johnson? Inboard again, a link-up of handballs. Dan Wolford. There's the first goal of the fourth quarter. And the Rovers equal the score.
Wolford kicks his second for the day. And I think worrying signs there for Barmera Monash because Renmark were up and about running. Getting the ball out, running onto it, running past, which is what they did in that third quarter to stem the gap. Now they've stemmed it all the way to 0. 6-10, 46, equal with Barmera Monash 7-4, 46. The score's all locked up here on the very better scoreboard. I'll say interesting at the centre bounce there last time, Lockie. You see where... And he's positioned there again. See where Vader's positioned himself right behind his ruckman?
Yeah.
And what happened in that previous bounce was the Barmera winner tapped it straight to him. If Gartery wins it, he'll flick it back to him. So he's in a perfect spot. I noticed that Barmera have sent someone over to man up with
Whitbourne.
Yeah,
and Whitbourne reads it well, and now it's Barmera Monash to get the clearance in this second ball up.
To Warnett, play straight on.
Inboard, the attacking 50, looks for Beach, it went through. Now Renmark managed to clear that one out through Alex Haynes, who's back in defence. Still inboard.
It's a big boundary over there here at Renmark.
Mark taken by Fraser Douglas on centre wing. Centres it up to Justin Bonney. He looks across the ground looking for someone. He's got Ogle all the way out here, but he's too far away. Young Ogle goes back down the wing, finds his brother, I think. Or was it Jack Austin?
That was Austin. Inboard. Beach manages to fend off his opponent. Kick off the deck as it wobbles through.
Hit the post, didn't it?
A minor score.
That hit the post, yeah. Second poster for Barmera Monash. And that gives them a slimmest of all leads, Lockie, by 1 point here at the Renmark Oval early in the final quarter.
Just the 3 minutes played, 5 a.m. at Riverland football for McDonald's Renmark and the Quality McCafe blend.
Tim Wolford brings it out of backlines, drives it far to the wing and up goes. See, I reckon that's a free kick.
That was Herodor who flew up, but
through goes Vader. Vader through for Renmark, gets the ball forward towards Liam Jackson, running on his own out at half forward. Can't get there. Yes, he can.
Oh, he read that well.
Handball's out. Out it comes to the teammate. All of a sudden, Fraser Sampson in the back play, mops up, shoots the handball across. The switch is on.
That was Saxton Mitchell that finds Ogle and fullback for Barmera Monash. Handball over the top. Manages to find Butterworth, who brings it back inboard. Looking for a teammate, but cut out intercept from Harrison Brown. But now intercept from Jamison Whitbourne from Barmera Monash. Kicks up, and there it is. The wily veteran Trevor Thorpe for Renmark.
This is the Renmark of old. They've structured up well behind the ball and are using it. And I'll tell you who's running the show out there is Tim Wolford. Tim Wolford and Josh Bader. Since half time, they have controlled the ball and controlled the game.
Brings it wide to Ben Keeley for Renmark. Broadcast wing. 4.5 minutes play. Just kicks up the line. Looks for Garrett. Takes a mark.
Oh, Austin there. Jack Austin. Sorry, it is.
No, it's Dane.
Dane Austin sort of was going to go for it and then didn't. All of a sudden, Garrett pulled in the mark. He's gone forward, and here he is again, Brody Rover. You'd have to say best on ground in the second half, wouldn't you? As a forward option. Drives it in towards the Renmark goals. Coming out, pack of players.
Declan Johnson tried to run onto it, but Barmera Monash defence once again stands up and they clear it out.
To Thomas Austin there, takes the mark at half-back. Looks up, looks for the switch, comes across the ground again. This time to Jamison Whitbourne. He's got nowhere to go, really. Has to go short. This time finds Ricketts at half-back. Really nice system here in the Barmera play-up. Shoots it over to Trent Ogle. Trent, the young fella, takes the ball. He's looking up. No option. All cut off here half-back by the Ruckman Gartery and by Benjamin Keeley. He's got to go down the line.
Renmark have got all the answers. Lovely mark from Warnett.
Lucas Warnett. He's been an absolute live wire for Barmera across half forward. You have to say their best forward today. Yeah. Although Beach has kicked 4 goals, this young fella's given them everything. Shoots the ball out.
Oh, Whitbourne nearly played on. Oh, no, he did. Play on's the call. Inboard to Sampson. A quick handball. Drives it into the attacking 50 for Barmera Monash. Good luck. Get under that. No one did. Can they run onto this? Renmark tried to. Ben Keeley took the play on, and umpire says my ball. Some would argue to say he might have had a chance to get rid of that.
Lucky to get away with that, but the umpire sort of tucked his whistle in his sock and said, I'm just going to ball it up. Ball comes out of the pack, straight to Jamison Whitbourne. He's finishing the game like he started it. Full of run, full of possessions. He kicked the goal probably from about 4 metres closer. This time he looks up, looks for it to kick, and a beautiful kick, finds Beach.
Good kick. Just waited for the moment and then runs off for a quick rest.
Yeah, that was a great kick by Whitbourne because he didn't kick it to Beach, he kicked it to the space in front of him and allowed him to run onto it. Just shot it over the couple of players that were in between, and it was a perfect spot. This is a very important kick for Beach. They need it. They have not kicked a goal since the second quarter.
Yeah, Jack Austin's was the last one. Ball on the way.
That's his
fifth from 35 out, and that is a goal.
That's his 5th goal, Jonathan Beach, and that was the first goal for this last quarter. You'd say Barmera need more.
They lead by 7 points.
So the second goal for this quarter.
7-minute mark.
Kicking the first one of the quarter, him answering.
So the Renmark Rovers doing some rotations as they always do, keeping fresh. 7 minutes gone. The wind, as you said, Nobby, that windsock is as good as, I don't know, the bit of steel that it's on at the moment. It's not doing anything at the moment.
Not sure what's going on here, but Harrison Beaver's just come back onto the ground. He was down in the changer and come out. Have they got a sort of an oxygen tent down there or something that they're going into.
We might get an inquiry after this. Barmera Monash might be calling for one if they go down. Oh, great tap from Gartrey back in the middle. Lelman tried to run onto it, but there is Watke for Barmera Monash. Drives it up forward. Matt Wolford now for Renmark. Rebound kick. Finds Vader. Just props on the broadcast wing. Kicks it inboard.
He doesn't waste a possession, does he? Finds Tim Wolford in the middle. Tim Wolford's just running that centre square. He hasn't been out of it. He's just really running
a bit short of Harrison Brown, and there's been a changeover.
Lockie Marks looks up.
Barmera Monash inboard.
Lovely kick to Warner. He gets
not marked. Oh no, it has been paid.
Gets rewarded. Shoots it into Steve Burton. Not 15. Plays on. Through to Wolford, dropping back. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Barmera come out with the footy. Warner again on his left foot. This is a goal. And that could be, if it's not the goal of the day, the very better goal of the day. It's the most important goal of the day for Barmera Monash.
Takes Barmera Monash back out to a 13-point lead. So the good work from Renmark is now starting to erode. 5 football for McDonald's Renmark.
Second goal of the day for Warnett, and he's climbing up the best player list for me. Going very well.
Just coming up to the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. 5 football. Round 2 action live at Renmark. 59 plays 46 on the Berry Better scoreboard. They've got a huge range of coffee makers.
What sort of coffee maker have you got, Lockie?
I'm rolling a Sunbeam at the moment. Vader out of the middle. He's not going to lay down with this one. Renmark go on the attack again. They're wasting no time. AJ Hem couldn't quite run onto it. Still inside their attacking 50. They've got to lock this one in and get something out of it. If the Rovers are going to come back from this. Still hungry for it. Barmera Monash trying to, I'm going to call it chaos defence, but it's been working all right this afternoon.
Yeah, Butterworth marshalling that defence very well in there, and Wilden committing to the ball as well. He's been tough at it all day. They've had some good players in the back lines.
So a ball up, 75 out from the Rovers goal. Kick away inside attacking 50, looks for Brodie Rover, but it's Barmera Monash that get their hands on it. Oh no, they don't. A chip over the top. There's Gillard. Kick off the deck. It's still in play.
Ricketts back hard at it.
Still a play on's the call.
This time to Butterworth. Butterworth looks up, looks for coach.
That's gone out of bounds, and I reckon this will be a free kick. It is too.
To Dan Wolford.
Renmark, this is a pretty important kick. 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Where's the player stopping him to run around here? He's going to run around. There's no one even in guarding the space. Wilden can't go and guard it because he has to leave Garrett alone, but someone's got to get in there and guard that space. The umpire's giving him, 10 metres to run around?
Gives himself a couple, ball's on the way, but it's a minor score.
The umpire was sort of shepherding players out of that there. He'd stood out there and said, no one can go closer than me to the player.
So that takes the margin down to 12 points exactly.
Probably a fair thing to do, really.
Just looking, there's a Barmera Monash player that's...
It's Fraser Sampson.
Oh no, he's just adjusting his boots. Nothing too serious there. I was getting a bit worried.
Here's Sampson out here all on his own. Ball goes the other side from Butterworth. 2-on-1. But
free kick to Barmera Monash.
Yes, Vader attacked that ball and the player getting it. And fortunately gave away the free kick. It was Middleton, wasn't it? He shoots it out wide. This time he finds...
That's Lockie Marks.
Lockie Marks getting a couple of kicks in this last quarter, the young fella.
There's Millington. Goes back inboard. Fends off his opponent.
He's had a fair game too, Millington across.
Roy Moore is another one that stepped up today.
Yeah, first quarter was great and he's finishing off great. That's how you get in the best players. Good first quarter, good last quarter.
Just hold station on half back and then gets told to hurry it up. That's the right thing to do, long and straight when you got no options.
Yeah, good contest there. Barmera look like they have steadied. Ball going forward, this time towards Dane Austin.
Inside attacking 50, Austin tried to paddle it out. He's tackled. Umpire says my ball.
Beavis had him down. He was looking for the umpire to count him out. He's going 1, 2, 3, you're mine.
He wasn't quite at WrestleMania just yet, but
didn't tap him out.
WrestleMania Renmark, what a day that'd be.
Here we go, through the back comes Matt Watke. Wow.
Minor score for the Barmera Monash Roos. Takes the margin out to 13. That's a handy point.
Very handy
in your
point.
vocabulary, Nobby Norton.
Very handy point. They're all handy points when you're trying to get in front. Here we go to Declan Johnson. He was attacked by Jamison Whitbourne. He shoots the handball through to Fraser Sampson. Gets it over to Warner. He hangs onto it. Got pushed in the back.
Yeah.
And a 25. That was from Lockie Lellman giving a little bit of advice that Tony Florence didn't need. And that undisciplined act Might cost him. He's giving him more than 25. He's giving him 50.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing with that was Lelman couldn't see that the ball had spilled out.
Yeah.
He was wrong-sided.
Yeah. But he could see that the umpire played the free kick. That was an undisciplined act. It's going to cost him a goal.
So, on the way here, Warnett, this will be goal number 3. He's had an afternoon here at Renmark today.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he is maybe on the podium, Lockie.
Lucas Warnett for Barmera Monash.
Goal number 3, Lucas Warnett.
Range.
And that almost puts the game beyond the... He's kicked the last 2 goals of the game, Lucas Warnett, and 3 for the day, and takes that lead out to a comfortable Barmera Monash 10-6-66 to Renmark Rovers 6-11-47, a 19-point margin. So Renmark need 4 goals to beat them, or 3 goals, 2.
13 and a half minutes played, fourth quarter. Would you say it's home here or not?
Not yet. I think the winning score is on the board, but I think 1 more goal would be the end of it. But this next goal becomes so important. Barmera kick it, the home. Renmark kick it, the game's still on.
Renmark need to get a clearance here. Back to the middle it is. 5-room football for McDonald's Renmark. Round 2 action. Up it goes. Gartree, good tap inboard. Harrison Brown read it well, but wrapped up.
Yeah, the Renmark A team in there. Gartree, Vader, Tim Wolford and Harrison Brown. That would be their on-ball A team. Gartree gets it.
Good tap again.
Brown goes hard at it.
Getting a lot of attention in the middle of this quarter.
Wrapped up.
So another ball up just outside the centre circle. A little bit closer to the broadcast wing here at Renmark. Austin for Barmera Monash in the ruck. Now a couple of wild soccer kicks, but it's Barmera Monash that clear this one out.
To Fraser Sampson on the wing. Has time to look up. Steers the ball towards... He steered it
Dane Austin.
Straight to Dane Austin. He slid out and took a sliding test mark. He will take all the time he's allowed and line up for a shot from goal. He kicked this from about 45 out.
Is this fitness now, Nobby?
I think maybe Renmark used their petrol tickets up in the third quarter, stemming the gap and getting back in the game. And often the effort used to get back in means you don't have a lot left for the last quarter.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a very fit Barmera Monash side running out of game of football here at Renmark. Dane Austin has his kick. It's a minor score.
That's another handy point.
Takes the margin out to 20 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Largest range of Engel fridges in the Riverland.
Yep.
5RM Riverland football.
Yep, here we go. Ball comes back in. I'm not sure if they got the time to chip it around like that. Into the back pocket to Trevor Thorpe. He's taken the mark deep in defence for Renmark. He comes down the line looking for and finding the big fella, Alex Haynes. He's been moved up onto the ball, you think, Lockie?
Yeah, just got to get amongst it. Haynes down the line, looks for Brodie Rover. Great mark.
Rover. He's been one of their best players in the second half. He's given him a chance.
Turns inboard, kicks inside attacking 50, looks for Gillard. Unable to mark it, but got a second bite at it. Has a kick inside 50 further. Didn't go for the goals, but it's wobbling towards the goals. Can they run onto it? Good tackle there.
You'd say Joe Ricketts has had a fair game on Gillard. He reached in there with the one hand and just did enough to tipple the ball away from him. He's not the most stylish football you've ever seen, Joe Ricketts, but very effective today in the back lines.
It goes at it well. 6-12-48, Renmark.
Down the middle comes...
Trailing Barmera Monash, 10-7.
What a lovely kick in, this time finding Tony Drugamella up onto the ball. Took a nice mark there at half-back from the kick in. In no hurry to get on with it. Looks to square it across. Finds Justin Bonney out there on the half-back flank, is it? No. Ian Butterworth, I reckon.
16 and a half minutes gone.
Shoots it across. Barmera quite happy to share the ball around here, and they share it out onto the centre wing, right in front of the scoreboard. Not in any hurry to move it on or move it forward. Just looking for someone to give it to this time. Down the line into Gartery territory, and the big fella reaches up, Zach Gartery, and takes yet another mark. Chips it across to Tim Wolford in the middle. He takes a contested mark. He's looking to move it on, but no one to give it to.
Got Keeley screaming for it on this wing, but he's probably a bit far out.
I don't reckon when you're 5 goals down, you haven't got time to muck around with it. He drives it forward again.
Looked for Herodor, rather, but couldn't quite get there. Wrapped up. Can Renmark... Is there still something left in this fight from Renmark? They need something pretty soon.
Barmera so far answered all challenges here in the last quarter.
Over the boundary line it goes on the right forward flank for the Rovers, and we'll get a ball in. 19 points the margin, 17 and a half minutes gone.
Yeah, under pressure at three-quarter time, leading by only a goal. Barmera, Monash and Renmark coming at them hard, but they've answered all challenges here.
So kick up towards the scoreboard wing. No one really able to get their hands on it.
Big fella Zach Garber goes in after it, grabs it, shoots it over to Harry Beavis. He handballs it out.
That was Thorpe.
Chain handballs.
Dan Wolford. Oh, it's a short kick.
To Tim Wolford.
Back to Dan. Now kicks inside attacking 50. Looking for Rover. Gets a mark. 40 out.
Lining up for his third goal.
Angle.
Lining up for his third goal and a much needed goal for Renmark. Although I think the clock's going to beat him.
Did you say a 15-degree angle, Nobby?
Yep. I think the clock's going to beat him here, Lockie. More changes on the bench. Lockie Lehman and Ricky Garrett to come back on for their last spurt at it. From Barmera Monash.
Rover has his kick. That's a lovely kick off the boot.
That's a goal.
He slots it.
That narrows the margin to Barmera 10-6-66. Renmark now trailing 7-12-54. A 13-point margin with, you'd say, only minutes left, Lockie.
We've got 18, just up to 19 minutes gone. So let's go best case scenario, 23-minute quarter.
Yep.
They're going to have to be Renmark are going to need the next one here. Stating they're bleeding obvious, but...
yeah, look, they do need goals and they need them quickly.
This is 5-0 football.
But you never know, you get two quick goals and all of a sudden the pressure comes on.
Well, we saw Loxton last week. What happened there? 5-0 football for McDonald's. Renmark back in the middle.
See Wolford sitting behind the ruckman this time, but being manned up by Rory Moore.
Tap from Gardery. Looked for Lelman, but it was the ruse that cleared it out through Watke. Inside attacking 50. Over the back to Beach. Beach handballs to Jack Austin, who sinks it.
And that's the game.
And says to his former club, I now play for Barmera Monash.
What a passage of play there, and all on the back of Matt Watke, streaming out of the middle of the ground. And a lovely mongrel kick forward, over the top. Beach reading at the best. Drawing Jack Austin's defender had to come forward on him, popped it over the top for a soda for Jack Austin.
Yeah, just on 20 minutes gone. The margin back out to 19 points. 73 plays, 54 on the Berry Better scoreboard.
Any Crows fan would remember Josh, what was his name, the big fella? Josh Jenkins. He would have kicked 100 of those goals over the top. It's the way he liked them. He was a basketball player. Didn't like going for the footy, but he loved them coming over the top. That's exactly what Jack Austin got. But Jack Austin's had a fair game too. He doesn't. He hits up when he has to.
So back to the middle it goes. 20 and a half minutes played. Fourth quarter. Riverland footy on 5 minutes.
He comes again. Watke. Gee whiz. Gets the ball forward. Finds Steve Burton in front at half forward. Burton just slows down things. Kicks it out towards Beach, who takes a lovely mark under the ball. It was nice delivery from Burton. Gave him plenty of room in front of him to take the ball. I'd say game over.
Could be.
Beach.
That's Austin.
It's actually not Beach. It's Austin.
It's Thomas Austin. I see how you got them mixed up though.
He's stretching a bit, might be a little cramp, but he's just taking his time. But a lovely kick from Burton into that open space, into the fat side of the ground, as they call it.
Thomas Austin had his kick.
They love it.
And Thomas Austin says to his former club, I also now play for Barmera Monash.
So the Austin boys are letting them know on the scoreboard.
I mean, I know they played for Barmera Monash last year, but, you know.
Where's Dane? It could be a trifecta of goals. It could be Jack, Thomas and Dane. We need Dane to kick the next one.
It's a big afternoon of footy, that's for sure. 25 points the margin now. Barmera Monash with the lead.
Yeah, Renmark had a dip after half time, but you'd say some inaccurate kicking early in the game when they went with the breeze in the first quarter, not being able to put any margin on Barmera other than a solitary goal at quarter time. You'd say that's probably been the costliest part of the game for them?
Yeah, 7-11-57.
And it was, 1-6 at quarter time?
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah.
Back in the middle it goes. The final moments of this ripping game of Riverland footy we've seen. It's going to be Barmera Monash that get the chocolates today.
Yep, Gardery been solid in ruck all day. Best ruckman on the ground in terms of tack ruckman and getting the ball to his team. But
Jenky tries to drive that one out, but umpire says my ball. Yeah.
But he hasn't stopped at all, Big Zach. He's had 3 opponents at times. In again, thumps it forward, but this time through comes Harry Beavis up forward. Out to Dan Wolford, shoots the ball forward for Renmark, but only as far as a couple of Barmera players, and it's Ricketts who races out of the back lines.
Oh, that's legs.
I would say he's been pinged for holding the ball. Must have got him by the shorts.
Going to be a free kick anyway.
He's been pinged for holding the ball.
Oh, okay, that's what it's for. Rightos, that's...
I thought he was legged, but he must have been held by the Guernsey.
Adrian Herodor, who's had a pretty good afternoon in the second half. He's a bit of a find for the Rovers today.
Joey Ricketts a little bit like Bruce Dool from back in the 80s.
Has his kick inside to the top of the square, and Brody Rover, good mark. Could be a mark of the day. Smokey this afternoon, Brody Rover.
Lining up for goal number 4 for Rover, all in the second half. A great half of footy when given the opportunities.
So we'll just follow this. Rover, 15 directly in front.
Straight
kicks
through.
it. And that's the Rovers' 8th goal of the game. It takes them out to 8-12-60. They trail Barmera and Monash 12-7. 79 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Father and footy for McDonald's, Renmark. Just thinking, although the Rovers probably aren't, you never like a loss, they have managed to work out a couple of things, and they have perhaps worked out a bit of a formula when plan A is not working.
Yeah, I think once they sort of got the game opened up a little bit, they've been very good in the middle. Mostly off the back of Tim Wolford and Josh Bader and of course Zach Gartery. But I think they need more than that. They haven't really... Dan Wolford's had a few moments on the wing, but they haven't really had that cross-centre dominance we've been used to seeing them get. Gartery up again, thumps the ball forward. This time, Butterworth shoots out the handball. And the ball goes forward for Barmera.
Punch forward there.
Tim Wolford with it. Ping for holding the ball here. That was Fraser Sampson, had him wrapped up. Fraser looks up, finds Matt Wilden out short. He's taken plenty of time. He goes short looking for a teammate, which is Steve Burton. He's got better and better as the game's gone on, found a bit more space. Still moving very well, Steve. And using the ball well too. Lovely little kick.
Finds Beach, 55 from home.
Now this is in his range.
It's in a fair... Early in the game, you'd say, with the breeze behind...
This is interesting. The umpire was marking the mark, but the person on the mark, Noah Beach, didn't want anything to do with it.
Beach kicks into the attacking 50, but punched out of bounds, and we'll get a ball in. 25 and a half minutes played. It's a big fourth quarter.
Yep, Barmera Monash 12-7-79, leading Renmark 8-12-60, a 19-point margin to Barmera Monash here at the Renmark Oval on the Berry Better scoreboard. Ball back into play. Gartery with it first, but Steve Burton reading it best, but couldn't get clear of the pack. This time the ball goes to Thomas Austin. Good last quarter from Thomas Austin, including a goal. Up it goes again. Bonnie in ruck. Ball comes out to Renmark.
Wolford up to Jackson at half back. Just chips it wide. Looks for Lellman. Puts it out in front. Lockie Lellman can run onto it. Kicks up the scoreboard wing right in front of Brody Rover, who does the old volleyball tap inboard to Declan Johnson. Handballs back to Dan Wolford. This is the Rovers of old. Kicks into the attacking 50. Looks for Gillard. Takes a mark.
Will he kick his first goal for the day just prior to the final siren?
It would be fitting if he did. I think we could all go home happy if he did.
If he doesn't, he'll have 5 points, which is almost a goal. And one out in the full.
He's had a bit of an unlucky day today, Nick Gillard, unfortunately.
He's had some opportunities, just hasn't cashed in.
So Gillard, 35 metres out. Has he slotted it?
He's missed it again.
That's another behind. You can only laugh at these things. 18 points to the margin.
I tell you what, if you're going to have a day like this, you better have off having it in round 2 than in the finals.
Yeah, that's a good point. What do they say? What's the song? Some days are diamonds, some days are stones. I think today's a bit of a stone.
It certainly is. But he's still... The positive out of it is he's managed to get hold of the ball a bit. Kick in from point, marked by Chris Bonney at half back for Barmera. Looks up, Goes short, looking for and finding Millington, who's had a great game, actually.
Sure has. 5 football for McDonald's Renmark.
Late call-up, but he's been more than serviceable. He'd be probably in their top 6, I reckon.
Rovers with the Rovers trail by 18. It's going to be a win for the Barmera Monash Roos.
Steve Burton popping up everywhere here in the dying stages, running on full of gas, making sure he makes himself available and hangs on to this game. Ball across to Barmera, cut out by Lockie Lellman at half forward, looks up, drives the ball towards goals, looking for Rover, over at the top of Brodie Rover. 2 Barmera players there against him. They come away with the footy. Out to Jack Albrecht, who's been sold in the back lines all day. There it is. Final score here on the Berry Better scoreboard. Barmera Monash 12-7, 79, beating Renmark 8-13-61, a 3-goal or 18-point margin to the Barmera Monash Roos over the Renmark Rovers. So the Barmera Monash side getting a little bit of a revenge for last year's grand final loss, Lockie, but it won't matter until we get to the last game of this year.
Yeah, you could call it a consolation prize, perhaps, but maybe just a case of just letting the competition know that Barmera Monash aren't done and dusted in 2025. That is for sure.
I think we're looking at the 2 best sides in the competition at the moment.
That is pretty sure. We will go through our awards very soon and get a full wrap from around the grounds, but Barmera Monash, it has been a good day to be a Roo in Renmark. Rob Laurie, back to you, and then we'll come back here.